Producer is lying to me.
Welcome everybody to the opening day of the Bad Pachamari League Rock Rumble. My name is Bowsy. I'm joined here by Willitron on the cast, and it's time to begin the first day of the Swiss stage here with a matchup that's sure to be an enticing one: Malware versus Rolldown.
We're not sure how much of us you caught last time, so we're going to quickly go over everything again. Malware, good star power on our team. We've got faith that they're going to have the immediate strength that they need to be able to get themselves across the finish line. Rolldown, everyone on that team knows each other. They play with each other, they're familiar, so going into an auction kind of setup where maybe some players aren't, used to playing with one another. This is going to be a really good look for them going forward, especially when we're on a new patch, playing on a new mode to start us out, having that kind of synergy as we get into some of the later maps. If Rolldown are able to get to a third map, I kind of give them the advantage, because even as they sub in players that they need to sub in, it's not necessarily going to be a detriment to them. They're going to know how to play around each other nonetheless. Malware, maybe if they aren't able to close it out in 2, it's going to look a little bit more difficult for them, but they've got the strength to be able to do so if they want to.
Yeah, especially with players like Gap and Chicken, as well as OWCS player Baz on the side of Malware. It's going to be a challenge, especially when they're facing off against Rolldown, which has players like Dabmaster, January, and Snowdown Summit E-League Bracket Grand Finalist MVP Brexit Giza, a lethal Moira player, as we saw in the Snowdown Summit just a few months ago. So we'll have to see if Malware is up for the task here to try and take down Rolldown, which, again, as you mentioned, is a team of seasons veterans, seasoned players that have played with each other and had that pre-existing synergy. It's definitely going to be an interesting match to watch here, and it's all going to start off on a brand new mode and a brand new map: Clash and Hanaoka.
And we were talking about meta a little bit as well, like kind of compositions that you want to play when you're in these kind of wackier situations where things like the Moira start to creep through. The Orisa is just so reliable. Venture coming through as well as a new hero. They're going to be just strong. We were talking about breakpoints a little bit. I don't know if we want to go over all of that nonsense again, but essentially, if you just got a really strong Venture player, you're going to put yourself in a really good position, especially on Hanaoka, where we mentioned there was kind of like A and E points, the final points for either side. They can be so difficult to cap out, because even if you've kind of been steamrolling to a certain point, the spawns are so close, and Venture in particular, that's just so good at like staying alive for a really long time. Cooldown cycling for a DPS player is surprisingly strong. If you're able to like turn that on its head and kind of catch a team out that's trying to snowball and they get a little bit over aggressive, they get a misread on the tempo, it can be easy to kind of like just flip the map on its head. And if you've got 3, you're basically towards the winning point already. It's obviously 5 to cap it out, but if you're able to just push back again, there's not always an opportunity for the other team to recover. It's a very easy map to snowball on, and it's very easy to kind of flip that on its head as well. So for either team, I think as long as they are able to kind of just keep themselves calm and acknowledge, like, okay, we don't need to trickle in here, we don't need to feed throughout the rest of this fight, they should be in good standing to make sure they're not just immediately dying on Hanaoka. I just think it'll be a good litmus test overall for which team we should maybe be favoring throughout this series.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see what these two teams are going to look like as the season begins. What also they're going to be running here. Obviously, this recent patch did not make a lot of impactful nerfs toward meta heroes, minus maybe Tracer. So we'll have to see if these teams are willing to keep on that Orisa composition, or if they're going to be throwing out something different, or if they want to try to stick with that Orisa, but also toss in the Venture, which I have seen some teams run that Venture in the Orisa Brawl style. So anything is up for the potential here, Willow, and these teams could try to make an early push here to try and set a meta for this entire weekend tournament.
Yeah, and that's the pain point as well, right? When you're coming into just like a one weekend tournament, you've not got a huge amount of time on a new patch. You are trying to figure out, like, what's the thing that we should be running? What's the new thing that we need to figure out before the other teams do? Because if you're on the back foot going into these series, you're going to be on the back foot throughout the rest of the weekend. Whichever team gets a lead now are going to be sitting pretty going forward. We can see already there is a little bit of that Venture Orisa hovering, but as we get started on Hanaoka, it's Malware who are going over from the Ram, first of all.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Malware's Ramatra is going to make the difference here. How much RAM does Ramatra have to try and take down that Rolldown Orisa as the two teams meet up here in the central point to meet up here. Malware trying to already push in the aggression, and Gap going right in for the backline here with that Nemesis form. Dabmaster, however, gets the better of Chicken, getting the first Venture elimination of the game here with that drill. And now Malware, without one of their crucial flanking DPS, are starting to fall back here. Rafa is able to get rid of Yukino, but Dabmaster is getting the trade-off here onto Tanikby as Malware is starting to fumble and Rolldown is starting to roll on over on them.
Dabmaster goes incredibly low, but Malware just not quite able to finish off the Venture of Rolldown, and it just kind of feels like, yet again, it's this bunker composition where you're just able to sit and live forever, cycle your cooldowns for as long as you want, and as we're finding on Hanaoka, Clash is so fast, one fight, and that's already the first point going over to Rolldown, and immediately setting up for second.
Yep, Malware trying to hold here on the second objective. Chicken looking for a flank pick here onto this Baptiste, Brexit Giza, but that amplification matrix already built up here by the Baptiste, but they're removed out of the fight. Chicken finding 3 in this fight with that Venture, getting the first kill streak for a Venture in a row here, and Malware continuing to hold this objective for their own. Rolldown need to try to find a way back in. They do get rid of Fairy with the help of Dabmaster. Now that Tectonic Shock trying to get rid of this Ramatra early, but the Nemesis form is there to keep Gap alive, blocking with every single inch. They get rid of Moon, and now we're trying to stabilize to take point B.
Very low is Gap at the moment. There is an opportunity for Rolldown if they really wanted to, but Yukino getting taken out. That will surely just be the second point going over to Malware as well. 1-1 on the board, but it's back to the center. And this time it's Rolldown who have the advantage, already posturing up on the high ground. Yeah,
and Malware already taking advantage of that high ground, however. Brexit Giza is removed, as is Memory on the Cassidy. Dabmaster forced to dig away with their life as Gap is just pushing the aggression into the side of Rolldown to keep them away from the objective.
This is the scary thing when you don't give yourself any downtime on Clash. We can see Moon just not quite back in time. The Orisa not available to keep stalling out this point. Halfway capped for Malware now already, and still the Orisa just waiting to be able to push in.
Yeah, Moon looking for that opportunity. Dabmaster's going to try to initiate the push here with that burrow. Now having to drill dash out of the equation, however, as Moon is all the way on the high ground, chasing down Tanikby using that overclock. The beat invested from Yukino as well to keep the rest of Rolldown alive. Gap stuck in a little bit of a corner. Might have had a DC there, actually, as the pause is in place here, probably for Gap's disconnect. So not the greatest situation for Malware here, even though they had half of the point for their own.
Half the point for their own, and the Annihilation gone as well. You're losing your Amatra ultimate at a point in the game where, like we said, Hanaoka is very easy to snowball. If you're in a situation where you get a DC on Clash, it looks like it's going to be very fatal indeed. Your Kitsune Rush is already out as well, so you can't even use it to try and build another Annihilation quickly once you've got Gap back in the lobby. Maybe this is exactly the strategy that Rollout needed, but I feel like that's, just unlucky for Malware on this particular occasion. Either way, it's going to be a first to 2. They're going to have at least some opportunity to come back in, but, it's a fast series. This, you got to be a little bit worried at this moment,
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately for Malware, it seems the antivirus has finally caught up to them, so we'll see if they're able to try and recode themselves so that they can get back into the system here to try and rig it for their own. Nonetheless, though, it still has been an interesting series, Willowtron. Even with all the chaos that we've been seeing, we've still been able to try and see how this Venture composition is working to its fullest. So it's not all doom and gloom. It's been interesting to see how these two teams have been trying to play around their Venture compositions.
Yeah, I think Rolldown in particular need to just make sure that they're not staggering themselves out. This bunker composition makes it very easy to do so. Malware, they've now got half the cap given, so they're going to be able to back out a little bit until Gap's back in with the Annihilation.
Yeah, 1 health to the name, though, has to try and wait to push back in, and Chicken is going to initiate with the Tectonic Shock, and they get rid of Yukino. Now the Lucio dead here for the side of Rolldown. Moon, however, with a 3K Terra Surge, cleaning up the entirety of the field. The No Eclipse is going to be stopping Moon from dominating the field here on the 3rd point.
4K for the Orisa, just a nice, nifty little Terror Surge to finish everyone off. Malware maybe caught out a little bit too much by wanting to reaggress quickly, take advantage of Rolldown, maybe expecting them to go slow coming back into the lobby. Now that they've got Brexit able to set up for this amplification matrix, it's the same scenario as we saw just a couple of points ago, but this time the Baptiste not going to be caught out as easily by the venture of Chicken.
Absolutely so. Chicken trying to make their dive in. Dabmaster looking for their own dive in to try and counter the backline of Malware. Here comes that amplification matrix from Brexit Giza to try and initiate the push. And you can already see Gap just trying to fight for their life, blocking with every single inch. Meanwhile, the point is being contested by a lone Chicken on the objective, pushing forward Moon to try and get the rest of their team to push onto them. But already you have Very and Chicken out of the equation here by memory, and Dabmaster and Rolldown cleaning up these picks one by one means they are going to be going to match point in this map.
Fairy going away from the Kiriko as well over onto the Baptiste. I think this makes sense when you're playing the rematch, but Gap now going over to the Zarya, you're going to have to try and build your ultimates very quickly. We mentioned how these last points are very difficult to cap, but nonetheless, if you get steamrolled, it's going to be even more difficult to hold them, and Dabmaster's, I don't even know what Venge's ultimate is called at this point, but whatever that is going to be able to very much sway the way that this fight goes.
We'll see how Dabmaster is able to use that Tectonic Shock, currently looking in the backline. Has to try and retreat, however, 58 health to the name, just barely able to burrow away, but now has none of those important cooldowns to keep themselves alive. Chicken's trying to push into the enemy team of Rolldown, but here comes the beat from Yukino, and now Chicken is cooked by Moon. Dabmaster, however, now pushing into the objective, trying to stop Malware from keeping this hold, and Fairy is hit out by the Tectonic Shock. The second they use that amplification matrix, 2 now for Dabmaster here on this venture, trying to clean up the field with the rest of their Rolldown teammates. Moon's Terror Surge locked onto the field here as Malware running back from spawn here again. That spawn room so close to this 3rd objective that it's going to be very difficult for Rolldown to push in. Gap on the Zarya trying to push forward here and continue putting away Rolldown as they take this point A for their own.
Build up Graviton Surge as well means that they're going to be able to re-engage. Malware have the opportunity to try and turn this a little bit. Having the high ground to play around as they go back towards the center point as well is going to be an advantage that they'll have over Rolldown. However, already 2 to 3, it's going to be a difficult comeback for them to make sure that they're not just losing every single point going forward.
Yeah, each of those bars at the top is, of course, a point, and if you get 5 points, the match is over. So Rolldown already in a good position, that being ahead of that. Here comes the amplification matrix from Brexit Giza to try and solidify Rolldown into match point here. Tanic B does get rid of Dabmaster, but they sacrifice their life board here as Rolldown are cleaning very cleanly on this objective. Graviton Surge from Gap is not a big one, and only forces out the Immortality Field from Brexit Giza, and then their life is removed out of the equation as well. So now Malware are down their tank, and now with a horse and a cowboy trampling all over the memory, finding 4 in this fight, cleaning up the field and sending Rolldown into a definitive match point.
And Dabmaster going over to the Tracer, actually, we're seeing the venture given up to the side of Rolldown, but it's going to give you so much more opportunity to get on Fairy's back now that the Kiriko is out of the equation. If you can just force out the Baptiste cooldowns early, you're going to have an easy cleanup for the remainder of the map. Here, as we can see, the Tracer already trying to find some kind of legwork, but the Cassie from Tanic B keeping them in check.
And definitely that Cassidy from Tanic B will be important to try and keep Dabmaster in check. Rolldown trying to find their way onto this point A as it starts flipping over, and the progress is counted here from the side of Malware. Rolldown have the opportunity to try and push in, but at that point it's already 75% capped here by Malware, so Rolldown have to act fast, and it's going to be hard to act fast when you've already lost 3. Memory's Deadeye as well is gone to waste as an amplification matrix from Fairy, keeping Malware in this engage and now pushing them to almost a steamroll here on point B.
Moon getting chased down as well. If you're able to stagger out the Orisa, yeah, now you've got the opportunity to be able to take your B point as well, which for Malware is going to be a really nice situation to find yourself in. You use just the amplification matrix to seal off that previous objective, and now that you're going to have ultimates coming into next as well, you've got a real opportunity to make sure that Rolldown is in an equal match point with you, 4 to 4, and they're already capping up.
And Dabmaster's already removed from the equation as well, so Rolldown are down one of their DPS. Memory almost gets their head chopped off as well, ends up dying to the hands of Fairy in the aftermath, and now you can see Malware, even with the points still being captured, they're just pushing forward, knowing that every single step is an advantage that they can take to try and completing this map and taking it for their own.
Daggers are so important to not get caught out with, so I'm glad that Moon and Yuki go down kind of earlier than they maybe could have done by not just wasting cooldowns, but Malware have such a firm control over this point right now and still have 4 ultimates. They didn't have to use a single one. One ultimate for 2 points on Clash is real value, and Rolldown, they're still building up to just try and match.
Yep, Rolldown trying to come in here as this is the final point of the map. Whoever wins this wins the map. Chicken is trying to initiate that win with an overclock. It forced out the beat from Yukino to keep Rolldown alive as the amplification matrix is used by Brexit Giza. Tanic B with this Deadeye B speed up by Rafa's speed boost as here comes the Terror Surge from Gap trying to seal the deal. Brexit Giza and Dabmaster removed from the equation as Chicken is popping him in the kill feed multiple times as all the picks blue in the kill feed minus Gap's 1 death. Make that Chicken Seth as well, but nonetheless, Malware all set up on this objective, and they will take the first Clash map victory of the season.
This is what we were talking about when we said you've got to make sure not to get caught out once you get towards that last point. If you're not careful about the way that you stagger yourself, if you're not careful about the way that you approach those fights and acknowledge, okay, we're probably not going to win this, so we just need to take it fast and messy. You get caught out thinking you're playing a good macro, but you give up all the position for it. Here's the 4K from the Orisa. It's really pretty when you're at this point in the map, but don't forget, even though there was that 4-2 lead at 1.4, Rolldown slips away from them by just losing 3 points, one after the other. That is a rough start. That's kind of what you were... I mean, it really looked like Rolldown had the chance there to be able to just close it out and win. If you were wanting to get to a 3-map series, that would have put you in real good stead to get there. Now you're at match point already because it is a 1st-2, and for Malware, maybe they're not in a position where they have to worry about, like, you know, the liability players or nerfed players that the pre-show was talking about. For Rolldown, the synergy is there and we're seeing it come through, but it feels just like a slight misread led to a big snowball on Clash, and that map type is so fast. You can see how it's easy to just let it slip away from you.
Yeah, it's almost as fast as a 2CP map in the old Overwatch 1 days. You just go straight over to the next point. You try to cap it as fast as possible. Still is an interesting map to try and break it down, but at the end of the day, Malware was just able to come back with the prowess that they needed to get themselves in position to win that map here. So overall, a pretty close first map, though. 5-4 scoreline is nothing to scoff out here, Willotron. So now as we head over to map number 2 with Esperanza on the docket, we'll see which of these teams is going to come out on top.
I mean, I think Esperanza is like, I kind of like it for what Malware have been running a little bit more. Rolldown, it's going to be really interesting to see how Venture kind of plays into this, right? When you've got them on the field, there's so much verticality that I think they're going to be able to struggle to get to without expending all of their cooldowns. It can be kind of the deterrent for compositions like this, and I feel like Venture just plays in with what Rolldown are wanting to run a little bit better. If Malware are able to just run something more traditional, I think that's going to suit them overall. So an interesting map pick from Rolldown to take us to Esperanza first, but you know, in terms of push, it's also just a map that people like. It's a map that people are familiar with, so it's not necessarily about trying to counter or play to strength. It's just we know how to approach it, we know what to do with it. Even if there are still things we're getting used to, you know, we at least know what we're doing on Esperanza compared to, you know, maps like New Queen Street and Coliseum, which people just don't tend to like as much in general.
Yeah, definitely. We also mentioned that Venture there, Willotron. We did see the Venture from both teams, but we also saw both of them switch off. Chicken and Dabmaster both switched off of the Venture midway through that map. Yet it was Malware, the team that switched off the Venture first, that took advantage of it, even though when Rolldown was winning, they were on that Venture. So does that tell you that Rolldown should probably try to be sticking to this Venture and not try to risk going over to a Tracer composition, which Tracer, mind you, was one of the very few heroes that were considered meta that was changed in the balance update. They received a 1-second nerf to their recall, which has been impactful enough to make it so Tracer cannot be as consistent in trying to escape these situations.
And I feel like to a certain extent, Trace was already getting punished a lot towards the latter end of the previous patch. Like, it was just, you know, address Trace the way that you usually would. We can see the casting coming into the playing field towards the latter half. Like, even as the Sojourn was kind of the more popular hit scan, being able to just play a cast around this level is consistently, you know, the Trace has to worry about Magnade. You're always going to force out something. And like you say, if recall's on a 1-second longer cooldown, it's just a little bit easier to deal with consistently. Rolldown moving away from the Venture, I mean, maybe they saw the Baptiste like me and thought, this will be relatively easy to get on top of, but if you just go away from what's working from you. If it's not broke, why fix it, you know? I think if they do play into this venture still, it won't be a bad look for them, but if they decided actually we don't want to in the first place, they're not as strong as we were initially thinking, we're struggling to coordinate as a team around it, I can understand maybe why they're wanting to go to something a little bit more familiar, a little bit more reliable. When you've got players like January in and you're going to maps like Esperanza, I'm almost curious as to like, do we want to try and see something like the Genji or the Echo coming through instead, rather than trying to force the Tracer still, even despite the nerf? I think there's the opportunity to approach this from a few different ways for Rolldown. For Malware, I mean, they've looked good with the Venture, they've looked good without the Venture. Even in spite of a DC, they were still going strong. I don't think they have to worry too much either way. The one pain point was maybe Fairy going away from the Kiriko and over to the Baptiste, but as we can see now, just going back over to the previous meta is Rolldown hovering the Winston composition. That's gonna be hooey.
Yeah, and you made an interesting point there as well. January subbing in here. Whispers is also in here for the side of Rolldown. The Rock Rumble requires that all of your players, if they are present, start in the lineup. So for Rolldown, they have to make that swaps. January has to come in here for Memory, and Whispers has to come in for Brexit Giza. So we'll see if Rolldown is able to make a difference here with these two heroes, or with these two swaps coming in to this map here. January already starting off here with this Echo, trying to take that high angle, but meanwhile, their teammate is getting rid of Tanikby in the sidelines as Rolldown now down their main DPS, or Rolldown now in the advantage of the DPS, but they do lose their tank in the aftermath to this Orisa comp.
Winston going in a little bit too deep, Moon gets a little bit too greedy and forgets that Orisa can just kind of live and shunt you around wherever she feels like, and for the dive tank going into a small corridor, yeah, you're not going to find the advantage there. Dabmaster getting caught out on the side angle by Rafa is a nice little win for the Lucio, and it's going to put Malware in really good stead to start taking the position they need to break Rolldown's dives before they can even properly set them up. And we can see Moon just backing out, trying to give up space, but Gap's there to contest it immediately.
Definitely. So we'll have to see if that Cassie's going to make the difference here, as Rafa is tweeting from the bot, it seems, as they're just sitting there waiting for the bot and witnessing their teammates falling to low health. Don't worry about that Gap. Don't worry about Gap being half health right now. It'll be alive at the end of the day, but nonetheless, Rolldown trying to find their way in. Yukino is trying to stall the bot there on the outside, and here comes Moon trying to set up in this window dive, going up to the opposing high ground here to try and take space away from Malware. Dabmaster starting to look a little rough here on this Tracer now, as that Cassidy now in play, and Miyukino meanwhile gets the better of their adversary. So now Rolldown in an advantage on that support line. Fairy now the only support left, but Tanikby gets rid of Dabmaster, and the Kitsune Rush from Fairy comes out as well. So Malware able to get those faster kills and be able to clean up the field here on the side of Rolldown.
Dabmaster just trying to play a little bit too conservative with the recall, make sure that they still had it available for wanting to get that pulse bomb out. But again, it's on that 1 second longer cooldown. You have to play around it. If you don't give yourself the acquiescence of, okay, I need to still use it, sometimes you're just going to get caught out by Tanikby on the caster yet again, just constantly marking you. And when you've got Chicken on the Sojourn as well, it's going to be very difficult for Dabmaster or January to find any kind of advantage here, especially when neither of them really has the support that they need to take confident off angles.
So we'll see how Rolldown is going to approach this fight here, trying to take those angles that are not really possible right now, considering the Tracer is in front of the field here. Malware currently set up in multiple positions. You have this Cassidy and Orisa on the low ground. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is set up on the high ground, waiting for that Tracer push. Here comes January initiating with the duplicate onto the Orisa. Now Dabmaster from the back, looking for the pulse bomb, and the spear from January knocks away Tanikby. But the cleanup is there. Tanikby is removed, but Yukino is not long for this world either. Gap uses the Terror Surge in the middle of the field and cleans up Whispers on that Kiriko and continues this push here for Malware.
Ambitious Javelin to try and seal that off, and that would have been a very flex kill, considering the Javelin that we saw coming out from Rolldown was not exactly advantageous for them in their push. We're now 85 meters to just 2, and Malware still going strong, as January just going in for just a slight stall, maybe wanting to switch away from the Echo at this point. I mean, in that kind of situation where you're just staggering yourself out, you're getting very close to kind of 2-fight territory right now for Malware. It's scary for Rolldown, and they've only got the Primal Rage to work with.
Yeah, Rolldown need to stop rolling nat ones, because it's definitely not been the sort of roll that they've been looking for, and it's going worse. Tanikby gets rid of Dabmaster where the fight begins. Moon equalizes with a kill onto Chicken with that Primal Rage, and now is focusing down this Cassidy that has caused the team so much trouble. But meanwhile, in the backline, their second DPS is removed from the picture. Now they are the main DPS trying to clean up the field. They get rid of Fairy, but now with Gav rushing on the enemy team, Malware are looking for any sort of advantage, but at the end of the day, they finally will be stopped.
6 minutes left and a nice little just pick onto Rafa at the end and the Lucio stalling for just a few extra seconds. It's going to be a colossal comeback for Rolldown if they're able to make it. They were able to find good value. January now over onto the Genji as well. This is another hero that they are comfortable with, so it's not a bad look for Rolldown in general. And Moon going over to the Orisa as well. It's going to mean that the other members of Rolldown can't push the bot quite as far. Probably not going to be able to steal away those forward spawns, but they have to be careful not to get caught out by Gap nonetheless. It's already Yuki very low.
Yeah, and it does not help that Moon is not even in the fight, so they don't have that tank pressure. Now Dabmaster and Yukino both removed from this fight instantaneously, and a little bit of a misjudgment from Rolldown. Not having your tank for that fight means that Malware is going to take back that bot in their control.
And as we can see, Gap is just able to cycle between these two positions, rotate either way, make sure that they can bunker down however they feel like. Even if they're not pushing further progress at this moment in time, Rolldown aren't getting anything for it.
We'll have to see if Rolldown able to get anything here with this Consider Rush. So from Whispers, Fairy answers back with their own as Tanikby now popping the Deadeye and shooting January point blank in the face. Yukino now forced to use that beat to try and equalize with Rafa's as Rolldown are still looking for an advantage, but they're down their second DPS, and it's not looking clean either. Gap is running into the backline here, just continuing to apply the pressure. Whispers gets hit from that railgun shot from afar as Malware continue to send all the members of Rolldown back into that spawn room, pick after pick after pick. There is no way that Rolldown can really make an advantage thus far. They've not been able to find any sort of way to break this mold that Malware has been holding on top of them. And with Yukino and January both dying here, the Terrorsaur from Gap landing on top of the point to clean up Dabmaster, it's only inevitable that Rolldown's chances of rolling for initiative are going all to waste, and all of those nat ones secure a victory for Malware in a clean 2-0 sweep.
It looked like there was a few moments on Clash in particular where Rolldown had the advantage, but the dice just didn't roll in their favor going over towards push. It was a colossal comeback that they were going to have to make. If you were going back like, okay, we don't want to run the Winston anymore, we want to be on the Orisa instead, you kind of had to coordinate with your team like, okay, we can't push the bot at all because Malware, they're going to be able to take advantage of that. Their composition isn't the fastest in the world, but you're not going to be able to easily escape from a speed amped Orisa, nor a Sojin is going to be able to power slide after you. There just wasn't really much hope of your team getting out in that kind of situation, and even then, Rolldown hesitated. They were like, oh, maybe we can just try and stay a little bit longer, immediately get caught out and punished for it. So I mean, for Rolldown, it wasn't a bad look overall. I think there was definitely moments of glory mixed in there, but Malware, I mean, we can see why they were the favorites going into this. They looked indomitable going over towards push, and when you're able to recover from the kind of snowballing that Rolldown weren't able to come from, that's proof that you're going to be a really solid team going into the remainder of the weekend. I would not be surprised to see Malware in one of those highest seedings as we get into tomorrow. Nevertheless, a really good showing from both teams. Rolldown, I've still got hope for them, okay? I know those guys. They're going to come back strong, I'm sure of it, and they're going to have opportunity to do so throughout the rest of today.
Yeah, Malware definitely looking like a scary force so far with this amount of talent. They looked like a scary force during auction night, picking up some high-value players. Again, Gap, Chicken, Tanikby. One player that no one really thought about was Fairy, who I personally played with. I can vouch for them. They are really good on that flex support role. Nonetheless, though, I think Malware is going to be a contender here for this title. Rolldown have some things they have to work on. They need to make sure that their dice are not loaded for their next series, because I swear to God, it definitely felt like that they were in the disadvantage through most of this series. Nonetheless, though, they sowed some essences of brilliance on that first map, so we'll see if they're able to clean up that stuff as they continue their Swiss stage here. But definitely a good performance from both teams. At the end of the day, Malware put themselves in that 1-0 club, joining SEES and Dukes of Arrakis in that 1-0, 2-0 maps record here to start off the season. To Rolldown, however, stuck with over easy, and to Gets over in that 0-1 category.
And to Gets, that was a BPL pre-show guarantee. Can we get the picture of them giving the thumbs up? Do we have that available? I don't know if we do, but either way, that was the team that we were absolutely sure was going to do fine. I'm going to claim that because I wasn't there, I was going to vote the opposite nonetheless. So I was always right, and they were always wrong. Take that, knock-on plank. How are you feeling about this going into the latter days, Bowsy? I mean, we've been a little bit of too Overwatch thus far, but I think that's a little bit natural as we start out on Swiss, right? Teams are still figuring out their placements. As we get into the latter parts of today, is there any particular teams you wanted to keep an eye on, or particular matches you think are going to really stand out?
Well, I'm typically looking at multiple teams, but I think the one I'm mostly looking at is Brazil Uprising 2. Not only because my former teammate Megalas is on that team, but also that's just a team of just vibes. You got Donk, Mac Tackle, Mustard, Lylum, so many players that are on that roster that are just cool vibes, just here to have fun. I wish I was part of that roster, but nonetheless, it's going to be interesting to see how well they perform in the entirety of this season. But definitely, I mean, these teams that we saw as well, I'm looking forward to see how they perform, as well as every other team participating in the Rock Rumble. It'll be interesting to see how they're able to perform and if they're going to be able to be at that an impact come the playoff stage later in this weekend. But definitely a good start to the Rock Rumble, and while all of these matches have been 2-0, we're still in for an enticing weekend.
Yeah, and it's going to be more of us over here and more on the B stream as well. I think we've got the C stream too. I forget who's in charge of that, but we've got 3 streams going overall. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, as you can see, look at our round 1 matches. We already just had all 3 of these matches. Malware versus Rolldown, Over Easy versus Dukes of Arrakis, and Tagetes versus SEES. So all of those matches just happened on our BPL, BPL2, and Paracelsus streams. So we're going to be trying to keep track of those. But that's technically the first round of the Rock Rumble done. The next round matches are at 8 o'clock, so we're going to be jumping it over to a break. When we return at 8 o'clock, and unfortunately will not be me and Willowtron back on the cast, you'll be joined with a new set of casters, but it will be round 2 of the Switch stage here. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss the rest of the Bad Pachimari League Rock Rumble.
Hello and good evening, BPL Nation. It is I, Hot Dog, joined by Biscuit, here for some fun action. Biscuit, how are you looking at this matchup coming up? Like, how pumped are you about the whole weekend, actually? Let's just go there.
Look, if you're a BPL fan, if you're an Overwatch fan, you have to be excited, right? Like, it's just so much action coming up right into your arms, into your screens, because there's so many teams, right, Hot Dog? And I'm really pumped. Look, when you have one of these weekend tournaments, we were talking about it earlier, it's kind of all over the place for the first couple of matches, so you might see a couple of lopsided matchups, although for... Well, we'll see that in a little bit when we see the rosters and stuff, but all of the matches have been 2-0s or 0-2s. Like, That's it.
Yep.
Right. So going in from this hot dog, I really want to see if this will be the difference, right? This is going to be the matchups for today, I'm assuming. Well, round 2 matchups in general. Look, we have a couple of teams, and the one that concerns us, hot dog, is going to be I Have Raygun versus Chaos.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. The other one's going quick through that. We got the Shogun versus Dukes of Arrakis. High Five versus Chat is this. I just, the names always get me. Like they'll sneak up, they'll be kind of funny, and then like one will just get me.
They're creative,
again,
man.
I have Raygun and Chaos versus this one. Seas and Malware. Tagetes, I think, and Starlighters. Then Brazil Uprising 2. Oh my god, throwback. Cookies Tablet, Rolldown and Beagle's Bastards, and then Foundry and Over Easy. So yeah, again, a lot of Overwatch coming to you here the next weekend, and specifically, we can look at the the schedule for the rest of the match streams here. So again, said a few times, I have Raygun and Chaos right now, where you're at parked right now. After this, we got okay, there we go. High Five, Jesus, versus Chad is Israel on the B stream, and then Seas versus Malware on Paris stream. All right, we made it through the names. The names are funny, but there's so many words, words to go through.
Look, you have good players, and then the best thing they're at is just creating team names. And honestly, as someone who's done branding before, hot dog, it's so much fun, right? But we have that's just scheduled for today. So if you've been wanting something on that second monitor while you're queuing your own games, you've been just looking for something fun to watch over the weekend, this is the very thing to do so. So going from here, hot dog, let's not talk about any other team. Let's talk about the teams that are here to compete for this round 2 of this bracket. Let's remember, you might lose and you might not be out of the tournament, but every match counts, hot dog, towards a future seeding bracket on playoffs, toward your future opponents. And here we have our rosters. I have Raygun, has a couple of heavy hitters. We might have heard of them before. Corey, absolute legend to a couple of people, for example on the Paracelsus stream, as well as in Tranquility League if you're a Pufa fan. Chasey, absolute champ of BPL, needs no introduction, approximately 3 titles already on that beautiful Solomon.gg page, accompanied by Taken Wallet and Twists, players who have been playing for a very long time, and in most recent memory, right? Paul Carver and the Bakery are a bit of unknown players to me, so I'm excited to see what they can do. But what can you tell us about Chaos other than they have munching, which I'm a big munching fan? I
mean, listen, I'm always here for some snacking, some munching. We got Dawes, Optical Crash, Karaki, FedEx, E1, Underdog, and Munching. I mean, again, more and more just familiar names. Dawes has been around for a while. He was also, I just want to say, they've been I think they were a Formula 1 champ on. I think they played in the Jordan's F1 stream. So shout out to that.
Shout out to that.
Crash. I mean, there's just a lot of familiar teams and names.
Right.
But FedEx though, again, a little bit newer. Again, like Karaki played in a few teams. So honestly, it's kind of a chaotic team. No jokes here. It'll be interesting to see how this all kind of shakes out and balances here.
Right, and we have to remember it's going to be a first 2. Hanaoka is going to be our opening map. If you haven't launched Overwatch since the last update, there's been a couple of issues, right? One of them being Hanaoka is not on the competitive map pool. So if you've been only playing comp, you have not seen this map, and you don't understand the game mode, which is very easy. Teams will have to compete just to capture a couple of points really fast on fast-paced battles. Think of it like Flashpoint, but then they have to capture 3 times in a row to win, or they need to capture a total of 5 points, which will be a tiebreaker at the very end. Chaos opening with Optical, Karaki, Dawes, Ewan, and Fives. Ewan, by the way, absolute heavy hitter. This is one of those players that you need to have on your team, and when they are on the other team, you're very scared. And then on Raygun, we have Taken Wallet, Twists, Chasey, Bakery, and Saga, which I don't know what they're playing yet. Venture is open for the teams, I'm assuming. So Venture will be a very strong pick. Currently, the meta's kind of been it's been Maga, it's been Orisa with Venture, because a lot of the dive, a lot of the survivability that they provide to their team. Whatever, it doesn't matter. A whole lot of yapping. Hot dog, we're starting right now, going on to the point. Chaos versus I Have Raygun, and I have no idea what's gonna happen from here on out.
I mean, hey, it is anyone's game. I mean, we're just living in it here. Optical, yeah, here we go. On the Venture already, throwing some rocks on this Rock Rumble, of course. Lots of damage going in, tunneling in, trying to look for one target. No success. Anyone here on the Lucio. chasing down Chasey on the monkey, trying to get some point presence here. Is Dawes here on the point. And they're going to try and get some sort of damage on this bubble, able to maybe work down this Winston. No dice yet. He's able to stay alive. And there we go. Finally, Karaki with that first pick. Chasey sent back to spawn, and now Trace with no recall. Going to be in a tough spot. Chaos very close to capping this point. Still no one yet. And picks are coming out both sides now. Twist was able to find Karaki, but in the midst of all of that, there's one less DPS on the side of I Have Raygun. And there we go. Saga has fallen as well. And Chaos, they should be able to come out with this first cap here as Chasey swapped the Wrecking Ball off the monkey. And maybe they'll be able to cap it. Come on now.
Oh, beautiful move right there. Yeah, avoiding the touch and just Chaos playing it to absolute perfection, absolute textbook. As you can see on the upper bar, they have moved up one objective. So if Chaos is able to capture this objective and the next one in consecutive succession, they will just win outright, right? Optical already has a tectonic crash, an ultimate that will make you sweat if you don't have any kind of survivability. The Kitsune Rush is ready on the side of I Have Raygun, but Chaos is just going in with everything.
I mean, that's a big sound barrier going in. Chaos looking to make something happen here. And Dawes does find Saga. That could be it there for finding this point already. No support and no support at all. Optical with a great ultimate pile driver and some mines in, but I'm not sure it's really going to matter. Chaos looking for the second point here, and I want to say it's only been like 3 minutes. There we go. Next point looking to come unlocked.
Yeah, looking to be match point hot, though. We have to remember this game mode can go by in a flash, and it looks like Chaos is just looking to speedrun and just be on that match point already. Dawes almost has a Jungle Queen ult, and there's really no answer to it other than the Kitsune, other than the Susu, other than the beat, which will have to be used. They switch over to Orisa on the side of Chase's side, an absolute meta pick that will counter Jungle Queen, but will it be enough to stop the momentum? Will it be enough to stop Dawes? They will have to look out for the Susu. The moment you use it, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking if it's going to be enough. You're going to have to pray it is, because they don't have a whole lot of other choice. Dawes here has that ultimate ready as Karaki falls dangerously low. They do have an ult as well. There we go. I Have Raygun looking to make something happen here. A great job in the Sojourn, making some damage. There we go. Finds an ultimate kill there. Optical falls. Karaki, though, equalizes. Twists falls. Chasey, man, I Have Raygun. They really don't want end, but Chaos, I mean, with these picks coming in back and forth, it's anyone's game. Chasey was able to find Awen, and there's one less support, and there we go. Chasey and Taken Wallet able to just stop the sweep here. A little close though, just a little bit.
That was very close. So now that they weren't able to capture, we will be moving back on over to our B point hot dog. That means that there will be 3 more points or 2 consecutive caps from the side of Chaos until they make it to the end of the match. And I really like to see Chasey on Orisa. You know, it's lame when Orisa's meta, but you have to do what you have to do. Ball, of course, strong, but definitely not as strong when you're going against Chaos, who are just so organized and they don't care about the ball on the backline. There's going to be a pulse bomb coming in, hopefully soon.
Then they really tried to pull someone in with that pulse bomb, was not able to succeed, and in fact, Chasey falls. They did find Optical with that that ultimate from the Orisa, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough here as Dawes finds Saga. One less healer for I Have Raygun. Dawes chasing someone down. There we go. Bakery, go back, make some bread or something. You got some time back and spawn there, and Chaos, here we go, back again in the driver's seat. 3 points to 1, and back at match point.
Yeah, back at match point. That's going to have to make you a little bit nervous. Kitsune Rush ready on the side of I Have Raygun, and Chaos doesn't really have anything other than a tectonic crash, which there is absolutely nothing that they can do to avoid it on the side of I Have Raygun. There's no Reinhardt, there's no shield to really stop it. They use the spear, and this is your time to go in, Optical.
Yeah, Optical presses a button. There we go. Get someone. Bakery sent back to spawn, and that's gotta have to do it. Chaos with 2 picks up. No Tracer on the side of I Have Raygun on the field, and now just chasing him down. Chasey. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? And Chaos looking to end it here. Okay, they are equalizing here a little bit here. As I Have Raygun able to get back on point. Taking Wallet, pumping in the damage, as well as a Doomfist now from Chasey. They are again at match point. They need to win this, and they succeed. It looked dire, but they managed to turn that around, and we're going back to B point.
It's a back and forward, but when the back and forward is happening on your side of the field, hot dog, it does not feel good at all. Look, 2 points capture for the side of I Have Raygun, 3 points capture for the side of Chaos, and I want to say I love the bencher pick, but they played a little bit too slow towards the end, right? They just get 2 picks and they're not able to really escalate off of that, which is what you have to do on the Jungle Queen comp. But they're about to get another chance at this. Optical goes down, though.
I mean, that could be it here. If they're able to capitalize on this, I have Raygun could make this a series here, or it's a match here. Five finds Twist, and there is a sound barrier thrown in by Saga, trying to keep this alive here, trying to get them back in the running. And now, dancing on the point here, Dawes did throw in their ultimate with no success in the kill feed as Chasey chases down some of the back line. Dangerously low, no success. So low, too, to 41 HP in a dream. 102 able to get some shield and some health back. The Bakery, though, gets 2 picks. I mean, support, more like DPS, able to make some damage happen. And I have Raygun coming out here, setting it to stun, setting it to kill. A1, though. Woo! Chaos. I mean, I take back everything I just said. They're going to win this point here.
That was a Chasey show for a couple of seconds, and if you weren't paying attention to what's happening in the background, that was Chaos just allowing Chasey to do whatever they wanted on the backline while they traded all of their backline as well. Then the Bakery comes in for a couple of picks, but it doesn't matter because you win this on the case, and this will be match point no matter what if Chaos manages to capture next. So this is going to be Raygun on their last life. They cannot lose any of these next couple of points. This power punch needs to give you a pick. It needs to give you something if you don't want to be already on match point on this set. Hot dog.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough here as they're looking for some way to jump in, and Chasey gonna punch in. It's one. There we go. 5's a late sound barrier. Doesn't matter. Chaos here. I don't know if they should have invested that. Maybe they should have stayed and kept it, but they're gonna keep trying to fight this here. A1 gets 2 picks. But it doesn't matter. Chasey finds Karaki and now Twist another pick. They may have squandered that opportunities. I have Raygun here, forcing them back again to point B. I will say, I mean, they haven't gotten point B yet, so Chaos still, I would say, has a good shot at winning right here. But, I mean, they're making the most of it.
Right, and I just want to say, Chaos doesn't even really need to use ultimates, right? They can just pile all of them up into one and then just go in with it. I have Raygun, however, Chasey getting off of the Doomfist, which I think was working perfectly, into the Jungle Queen mirror, which it could go well, but not as much when Chaos is about to get that Jungle Queen ultimate, when they're about to have a Kitsune, when they're about to have everything. Hot dog, this is match point for Chaos. Will Raygun be able to lock it in?
I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, Baker, yeah, we'll have to say, yeah, we'll lock it in real hard. And it gets picked off here. Chaos down to support, almost down to tank. Dawes so low, stuck. Ooh. Man, Twist saying, hey, we really want to keep this going here. Match point tied, 4 points to 4 points here. I mean, I have Raygun. Well done coming back. This was not looking like their map here at the beginning.
Yeah, and we're going back to where it all started, onto that C point. The one big difference between these two teams are the ultimates that they have. You have a Deadeye on the side of Raygun, but Hot Dog, it's going to be versus a Kitsune, versus a beat that may happen at the middle of the fight, versus a Rampage from the side of Dawes. So this Suzu has to be clean. The Bakery, you need to save your team because that's the one thing that they have to hope on. 3 seconds until it unlocks. This is our final point. What a match.
And right back to where it started here. Chasey was on the Winston and now on the Junker Queen, trying to see if this will be the difference maker on this point. Dawes does have an ult ready. Optical halfway to their pulse bomb. Looking to chase him down. Chasey finds Alan. That's huge, but there we go. Taking Wallet gets picked up. Karaki finds Chasey. This could be it. Chaos able to get 3 picks right off the bat. Now they just need to clean it off here. Tracer, half health, no recall. How about no health either? There we go. Chaos. I mean, hey, they made it a little close than they might have wanted there. Oh, I don't know if it's going to matter. A good boop, but I mean, Chasey, I don't know if it's going to matter here. Able to get some shields off 6 seconds, trying to stay alive. And they do get another touch here. Saga on the point, halfway to beat. They're going to have to really play well. They do throw in a Kiriko alt Bakery here, trying to be a difference maker. Dazo finding Saga. It's going to be so tough with only 1 support. Bakery find Ellen, though. I mean, hey, it's only 1 support on both sides here. Pulse bomb thrown in, no success. Karaki finds Bakery again. Chaos once again, getting these picks here, taking Wallet. I mean, it's just so close. Chasey has been consistently the difference maker, being the person they need to just finish off, but these huge tanky tanks that he's so good at playing, it's just so tough. A1 throws in a sound barrier. It's not going to matter, though, and Chasey finally falls. There we go. Chaos gets the first point.
Beautiful play right there from the side of Chaos. Look, at the beginning of the game, absolutely in the commander's seat, just kind of being the best of all time until, you know, Raygun slowly but surely bringing it back, trying to put it all on match point. But this is where it all changes, right? The second that they spot the Suzu, there's nothing that you can do. The second that you lose so many fights in a row to the point that Dawes has an ultimate over you, and not any ultimate, that's a Rampage. Like, you have to be ready for it. And if you're not, you're going to make it so that this set turns into an 0-1 for the side of Chaos. Hot Dog, what a match and what a game mode.
Yeah, I mean, when we started, we were saying, hey, this has all been 2-0s, 0-2s, but I mean, I think this might be this might be the barn burner that breaks the cycle. Overall, Chaos, they looked good from the get-go. I have Raygun. I felt like they had a good shot here and there, but they squandered a lot of their ability to close down those fights with some bad ultimates. But I mean, again, this series is looking pretty competitive compared to the other ones so far.
Yeah, I agree. Look, it went to the absolute wire, and I want to say, I really liked Chasey on Doomfist. You know, definitely opening up a lot of the picks. They were in a 1v3 against the backline. I'm not entirely sure how the rest of the fight went down. What was happening on the other side? Maybe some sort of domination from the side of I have Raygun or I have or Chaos, right? But then the switch over to Jungle Queen, a little puzzling to me. I don't understand what it's going to do if you are not doing it from the beginning, but you know, it's a thing in the heat of the moment, and even then, they have a Kitsune, they have a Jungle Queen ult, there's nothing you can do, right? Just the ultimate economy was absolutely in shambles, and now we're moving on to our next and potential final match, but I am really hoping that it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I will say regular season Hot Dog, when I'm casting, the chances of it being a 2-0, listen, Biscuit, it's been fun, but it might be a short evening for you and I. We are, I believe, still waiting for that next map. But I mean, hey, that's a fun map mode. Definitely. I mean, it echoes of Dranamura. I mean, it was a 5-4. But I mean, that kind of goes back to playing well to Chasey's strengths. It's unfortunate they didn't work out, but being able to have that much sustain and play those tanks to such a high degree to, you know, take pressure off 3 people, you know, all at once. That's pretty good. Sometimes, again, that Gambit didn't pay off, and it turned out Chaos able to capitalize and push in because suddenly there's a void where there's no tank. But, I mean, when they have the opportunity, Chasey on those tanky heroes, I mean, it just plays well in these map types where they just kind of keep going and going and going and going.
Yeah, Hanamura, look, if you're a fan of that map, you know what it's like, right? It's all so fast, and then it ends in a draw. Like, it always ends in a draw, man. But this time, it doesn't, right? Like, it's such a fast game mode that really rewards you being able to, like, pick clean fights, go fast, go quick, and just kind of don't think about it too much. Just really play your team fights clean, and you will be able to win that game mode. Something I like to see, you know, something a little bit faster paced after, you know, some game modes like Escort, some games like Hybrid can take forever, especially like in case of a tiebreaker, right, Hot Dog? So, you know, we don't have a map pick just yet, but I like to think
that Raygun... Not to cut you off, but we have a map pick. And you're just saying, funnily enough, you're just saying you weren't a fan of like the Hybrid and like Escort. Well, how about a mix of the two as push? What's your opinion on push?
That's Christmas came early, you know. Colosseo, one of my favorite maps in the game. Look, push. If you started playing Overwatch 2, you know the push discourse until like season 3, and then people realize, you know, maybe this is better than Escort. We like to fight. We like to just take 10 minutes. 10 minutes only is what I can spare to play my map, you know, and I really like this because this means that we're going to see a lot of brawling, a lot of quick fights, a lot of sustain. We might see more Bencher because I'm really excited to see it because, you know, Bencher, great DPS. I think they are really balanced, even though maybe a little bit too strong at the moment. But you know, you really never know what they're gonna pick until the very last second. Beautiful angles from our observers. Thank you very much for gifting this. And in 3 seconds we will find out what they will be playing. Hot Dog.
Yeah, and speaking of observers, there was on the last map a really cute little fishy guy, a bowl of sushi, which honestly it was really cute. I'm glad the observers found it. But if I was a fish in a bowl of sushi, I would be decidedly a little bit angry. I would be nervous as to why this mustached man is pointing bits of wood at me. Anyway, we're going with a more Baptiste Lucio. Okay. What do you think of this, Biscuit, real quick before this fight starts?
Look, it's going to be Baptiste Lucio on the Sigma. This gives him a lot of really good engage, naturally, as with Lucio, right? You have beat for all those ultimates that are going to be really tough to find. It's a Sigma mirror, so you need to have an L. What is this bug with optical? A little...
I mean, hey, the bullets still shoot this... There we go. The bullets still shoot the same, and it is a Torbjorn versus this Widowmaker.
Right.
I would say just... man, it's tough. I would say probably with this, Chaos might be on the back foot, you know, having that tornado to pump in damage, but right now just kind of pumping in damage on these shields, Biscuit.
Right, and as we were saying, right, this loose is going to give them the advantage on the side of, hey, I can get in and out whenever I want. The beat is going to make it so that DOS and Chasey cannot ult whenever they want. Munching is in with Lucio, by the way. You went on the Baptiste with Baptiste. Great support, great sustain, great damage, just a great all-around. And it's just like any other Colosseo game, man. It's holding down this middle lane until someone dies, and DOS might be the first one.
DOS, 69%. A not too nice of an outcome there, unfortunately. Chasey only 55. It is worth noting Chaos has been putting a lot more damage in, but the kills are going the way of Eye of Ray Guns, which means that, hey, they're able to find a little bit more value with this damage they're getting. And speaking of, Chasey with a great boulder and Ray Gun, walking it in a little bit here.
Ray Gun finally starting. We're showing some glimpses of life after that Hanaoka game. 25 meters and counting. Look, they are taking this high ground, and this is exactly what you have to do. Let them fight to even start making it to the other side of the point. Barry to shout out Paul, who is in on the Sojourn, and just kind of playing slow. Never mind going all in with this Flux.
I mean, you've got to just try and stop this momentum here. Dawes, no success, unfortunately, but doing a good job putting pressure on the Sojourn, pushing them off. One health falls. Dawes, I mean, that's what you want to do as tank. Get some space, take it, keep it, make it yours. And now Chaos walking it in as I have Raygun forced to do a bit of retreating.
And Chaos is off of the Widowmaker. Widowmaker definitely one really good DPS for the beginning of the map with this really long sightline. But Ash is going to give them flexibility. It's going to make engages hard if Saga is trying to just, you know, dive them and do some Reddit Lucio things. But now, let's talk about ultimates, because this window is going to affect them a lot. Immortality is already out from the side of Chaos, and they're getting pushed in.
I mean, speaking of pushed in, how about pushed up, thrown into the air potentially, as Chasey now with no Baptiste field available could be pretty bad for them. Grass coming out for Dawes, gets a lot of healing and a little bit more breathing room. Paul finding Optical though, and now I have Raygun pushing in once again. And Biscuit, I gotta say as well, this is probably the worst Sigma skin I've ever seen in my life. I hate that icon in the lower left-hand corner.
The worst? That guy, it's kind of clean, right?
I keep looking at it and it just sucks, man.
Like, come on, I mean, it's definitely no mythical, but you know what's mythical? That's going to be that molten core burning Chaos to a crisp, and it's going to give them the checkpoint on this side. And now that that fight is over, we have to get back in on that take Hot Dog. I know it's not the mythic skin, which is probably the best mythic skin they've released, period. And I'm not a tank player, by the way, but it's pretty good, man. Like,
dog,
you know?
I listen, man. it just this Eldritch core. And now Chasey, speaking of other cores, I mean, that's a pretty beefy ultimate there. Munching forced to use a sound barrier, getting everyone alive. They did also invest in Eowyn's immortality field. Dangerously low too, but this might be enough. Chaos walking in with Bob. Optical using their ultimate as well, and it looks like, yes, Ivory Gun are forced to walk back as Paul used the Sojourn ultimate to no avail, and Chaos pushing in a bit and getting some distance back potentially.
And usually I would say, right, Raygun did a really good exchange. You know, give them your Flux and you will get a beat, you will get a Bob, but also giving them overclock might not be the best. It's putting them on equal footing, and look, this ends now. Karaki gets that immortality field. The beat is out.
Yeah, that's a great heads-up beat there by Saga, keeping them alive, and Karaki forced back and forced into spawn there. Bakery on the Baptiste, doing a lot of healing, a lot of damage as well. And now Dawes throwing in an ultimate, doesn't get a lot, but gets the damage done that is needed here. Pushing back as well, but it doesn't matter as Chasey and I have Raygun as a team are pushing in. Dawes is unable to really kind of carry this by themselves, it feels like. Able to get some healing with the support, but this is just tough going right now, Biscuit.
Yeah, now you're seeing the problem with push, right? You lose the first fight and it's going to end up in a surge of momentum that you really can't stop. And I've seen enough push games to understand it's either a roll or they just turn it all back in the end. 5 minutes with Rush reaching the half of this match, and Optical is now on Venture, giving them easy access to this backline.
Really quick, and Carver just got 2 picks. They got Eowyn and Munching, so right now Chaos has no healers. In the midst of that, I mean, Carver on the Torbjorn, I feel like hasn't done a lot outside of some really good molten cores, but suddenly just pumping in a ton of damage with projectiles. Chaos is absolutely on the back foot here. Karaki and Ewan forced back in spawn.
I'm a big fan of them trying something different, right? Going in on the Venture, maybe making it so that Carver cannot just sit in the backline and pump out the damage, but now that they're also on Ramatra, there's no range for them to really engage. Munching needs to speed them in, and they need to put in the pressure as soon as this Nemesis form is out.
Absolutely, forcing out the Chasey, the big ultimate.
God.
I mean, Chasey on the Sigma has been so destructive. Optical Diz in the background trying to equalize, not just gonna be successful though. A couple picks coming in. Optical gets Paul as well. Munching did fall, and Saga finds Optical though. Not gonna be enough. I have Ray Gun in the final stretch. Biscuit. I mean, this is last fight territory here.
Yeah, Tectonic Shock might be your one and only answer, and it looks like I have Raygun does seem to want to deal with it for now, which good news and have bad news for the side of Chaos, right? You're gonna have to meet them back in the middle. You're gonna have to play the neutral again when they have a Sigma, when they have a Torque, when they have so much more range than you. But Optical, if they're able to get some space, if DOS and Optical just run at the back line and hopefully don't die before getting their hot dog, this could be the beginning of something. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The game is not over, but it's starting to look a little bit like we have a decided winner.
I mean, for a sec, I mean,
oh my god!
I just look at this. I mean, as I have Raygun just absolutely obliterates the other team. Chasey finding Dawes. I mean, that's just not good. And now just walking forward, Chaos has not touched the point. Just as a heads up, I don't know like what kind of went wrong outside. I'm sure we'll kind of chat more about this as more ults come in for some reason from Chaos. Not really able to do a whole lot outside, just kind of praise. Saga throws him the sub area as well, and now just beating the people down. Carver did fall to Optical on the Venture, but now I have Raygun once again knocking on the door as A1 uses the amplification matrix. There is still 3 minutes left here. I have Raygun is just still though in the driver's seat as Chaos really needs to lock it in, and Biscuit, it is just looking tough.
Yeah, I wonder from you and it's going to get them off of the point, but it's not going to get anything else. They just have so much range to disengage. They have so much time to react to everything. Like if you're Chaos, you just have like a guarantee for everything, and they keep having. If you're I have Raygun, you just keep having ultimates for every fight. Window, overclock, and a flux that Munching doesn't have a beat ready for. So 2 minutes and the time is slowly ticking down. Hot dog, this might be a flux, this might be DOS going down yet again, and look, they haven't got it to the other side of the map yet.
I mean, yeah, this is looking real bad. And wait, here we go. 0, 2, okay. Almost like you started pushing. They need to actually touch the barrier for it to push. And now a huge flux coming in. They did have to use the Baptiste of Sound Barrier or Mortality Field already. And Chasey and Carver picks coming in. Saga, even trying to be a difference maker as Baptiste, but doesn't matter. And now 2.28 meters on I have Raygun. Kind of an Galarraga almost perfect game there from I have Raygun, but. Hey, I mean, they're still looking dominant as they push in once again to get the priority respawns.
A perfect game, and we're still going the same tail as all this time. Chasey pushing in the bottom to the checkpoint. Beautiful call right there. Hey, we're not gonna fight this, but I'm gonna give my team a forward respawn in case that a fight breaks out and they are able to get it in the middle of one. Bakery has a window, which is really good in this matchup. You know, Dawes is back on the Sigma, which is kind of what they have to do on 1 minute to get your ultimates. The only way that you can win this hot dog, in my opinion, is going to be Chaos getting 5 ultimates and sparing them all one each fight and winning every fight. Only with one. I have Raygun on the other side. They lost their BAP, so this is your window to go in. Hot dog. Will Chaos turn it around?
I mean, yes. Just looking at the kill feed, I think they will. Optical making some magic happen. Has a dragon ready, not going to need to use it, and now they've got about 50 seconds left, and we're going to be starting counting up from 2.28 meters. This is going to have to be a god tier run here. They're going to have to literally like kill them as they walk out, and almost.
Okay, they have to win every fight. There's nothing that if they lose, it has to be like one team member, and it can be like Delucio that comes back instantly. So Chaos, show us what you got. This window, these dragons, and this beat is going to be all you have, and they are buying time to get a flux, which will turn the game around if Saga is not able to beat it in time. But Chasey, they're just getting a pick already.
That's not going to be good there. And now Chasey ready to throw in an oh man, ultimate as well. Sound Barrier comes in a little bit early, doesn't matter. Dawes trying to grasp. Trying to get some damage, some shield, eaten up, doesn't matter. Carver getting another pick. Munching finds the immortality field for I have Raygun, but doesn't really matter now. Just Paul cleaning up the Optical, and now I have Raygun evening up the series, and like that, immediate departure from previous series. We are tied up 1-1 in this weekend Rock Rumble.
It's just a result of the Biscuit hot dog cast, you know, making miracles happen. I have Raygun and Chaos and making it their first 2-1 matchup, and I'm really excited because that was a hard, not like hard-earned victory. Like, well, not hard-earned. Like it was
grinded.
Right, it was slow. It was not an absolute like stomp of I just run and never let go of the bot. But 1-on-1 is what we see on the screen, and I'm very pleased to say both teams are looking really even. That situation, Hot Dog, I will say, getting picked off there is tragic, and you would want, for example, Munching to beat, but it's such a predicament, right? Do I save Kuraki right now, or do I let my team like just absolutely live like on 1 HP for Sigma ult, right? Like they just have a flux, you don't have one. You have to make miracles happen with a dragon, and that ultimate, not known as one of the best in the game. Let me tell you that much.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to use my hidden jutsu. Step slightly to the left and dodge. Right. I mean, hey, it is what it is, right? Like Hanzo has always been kind of, they hold down an area, and when they're able to hold it down in a good way and not be pressured off that one arrow, that one sight line, you're golden. And then they've got great ability to move around, but at the end of the day, they're coming out of a deficit, right? We said it was a grindy victory, and they grinded all the way up to 130 meters, and like that's a pretty big, tough hole to climb out of. So Chaos, I mean, again, like it's tough to kind of look back, right? Hindsight's always 20/20, and it's always going to be that first fight that kind of sets the tone, because you get some ultimate advantage, this and that. You're able to kind of find ways to extend and get momentum. But I don't know, man. I have Raygun. They just looked so good. JC just on fire consistently. It would have been good for Chaos to get some more pop-off moments, but I think I have Raygun. This is just their map. I genuinely think that's just part of it.
Yeah, and Coliseum definitely works a little bit of like slower play. If you're playing on Hanoka, you're going to be going in with your Junkiku, and you're going to be going in with like your dive and your ball, right? Because it's just such a fast-paced game mode that lets you just run at people. And that may be what Chaos is all about, entitled with the name. But Raygun, just shooting at you behind the Sigma Shield is going to be hard to beat. And another thing, Optical, playing a little bit of Mystery Heroes, going in from Widow to Torv to Ashe to Hanzo, like to Venture, right? Like 5 different heroes. You never really get one of your ultimates, and they're very important to turn on the game. We saw above that they just really dodged easily. So a couple of misplays that happen from here on out. And I want to say, every time I say maybe this play wasn't as perfect as we would have wanted, these players could absolutely gap me on any role. Like, but some mistakes happen.
Listen, we get the value of looking at and pretending that yes, we're top 500. We can see everything, because again, obviously, and that's worth bringing up, that yeah, we obviously are operating with a little bit more info than people playing at. Like, we can see who has ultimate, we can see where people are. So yeah, again, like context, right? These are still players that are playing well, and it just comes down to a game of mistakes at this level, right? Even if this is me just throwing numbers out here. If you're playing a 3,000 level, 3,500 SR tournament, there's still gonna be a level of just like capitalizing on mistakes and seeing who can do that better. And as we just quick wait for the map pick to come in, let's look at the some matches that happened. 2-0 Shogunate taken away from Dukes of Arrakis. High 5 2-0. So those are all 4-0 now and 0-4 respectively. Our matchup still going on 1-1. Season Malware 0-1. Tagetes and Starlighters still 0-0. Brazil uprising 2. Can take his tablet. Rolldown and Baegle's Bastard still Bing showing at 0. I don't know if they've been aired yet. And then there's one more going on. That was 0-2. So lots of fun ones. Lots of gamers gaming real good, huh?
Right. And I will say there's like we have a 1-0, only 1-1 matchup for now, and 3 2-0. So Hot Dog looking like it might be a little bit of a repeating theme right here. But let's not talk about the Shogunate and High Five, which they've been doing great, at the top of the leaderboard. But now I have Raygun and Chaos on their last pick. This is going to be the Chaos pick, Lijiang Tower. Definitely, I really like that we have the best 3 game modes. We have Clash, we have Control, and we have Push. Definitely rewarding a lot of the more team deathmatchy gameplay. Of course, there's macro decisions, but a lot of these just kind of rely on you. Hey, kill the other team, get the percentage, get out of there, right? So Legion Tower gonna favor a lot of the dive if they want to play dive far, if they're crazy enough for that. But it will definitely make it so that it's like a lot of close fights, not a lot of big cyclines unless you're in Gardens, for example. But other than that, I cannot think of a better map to end this set on.
Anubis.
Oh, true. What if we played
Thank you.
2 CP?
You
for
agree?
last
Yes,
one?
yes. Because you were saying best map types, and I'm checking my notes. There's no 2 CP, so real BPLers will know my fondness for Anubis. Aesthetically, I loved it. I still miss it. I hope they do what they did with Hanamura and rework it into Hanoka, which is still, it makes me very happy to see it alive again. Unfortunately, I think Hanamura in custom games has now been cannibalized. You can't play it, but hey, we still got Hanoka as we wait to load into Lijiang. Which of the 3 are your favorite? Is your favorite point in Lijiang, Biscuit?
Look, I think Command Center, or like whatever it's called, right? Definitely one of my favorites. It definitely favors a lot of really quirky comps you could play Pharah there. Junkrat Symmetra was a bit of a staple at the beginning of Overwatch 2.
Which one was
Definitely
it you said, the data center one?
this one, yeah, specifically.
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
yeah. I was about to say, yeah. Like I was like, hey, wait a minute, you created it. Good job. All right, cool.
Right.
All right,
We
so,
just made it happen in the middle
and hey,
of nowhere.
I was about to ask, and then you what your favorite comp was? You mentioned Symmetra already. Karaki.
I don't think Karaki's in Symmetra.
Tuning into
Look,
the comp.
right, look, I would love Symmetra. I think like when I play a match, like any match, it could be a BPL match, it could be a competitive match. If they have Symmetra, I instantly lose. But I think it's going to be just like a TP and then speed on over to the point. The main difference here is going to be the Orisa versus Sigma and the Kiriko instead of a map on this. Oh, never mind. It's going to be the Orisa, which definitely meta. You know, this mechanical horse absolutely terrorizing matches ever since they came out on Overwatch 2. Chaos and I have Raygun. Another difference is going to be Venture versus Kree. A lot of range on Raygun, but Chaos has easy access to that backline. You need to do something about this burrow.
Yeah, as they jump out, Venture looking for some
Ooh,
damage
Dawes.
here. Dawes pushing in, finding a pick as Chasey equalizes. Another pick on the DPS here. It's 4-on-4. Street rules Overwatch. Venture going in, not able to find any magic with that tunnel, and now backing off once again, dancing on this point, waiting for it to unlock. Now, just waiting. Chasey finds 5s. That's one less support. That's going to be a much more consequential pick for I have Raygun here. Chaos on the back foot, potentially. Paul and Twist actually get 2 picks. Ewan finds Twist trying to equalize, and Dawes falls. It's been back and forth this whole way as I have Raygun does seem to have come out on top, and they do end up getting that first cap here.
Ooh, but you know, Paul getting a little bit too frisky, trying to get a little bit of a cheeky peek against Chaos is going to make them, and it's going to put them in a 4v5, and this is when you have to go fast. That's exactly what Chaos are doing, speeding in, and you need to take this point while Paul is still trying to like run back onto the point. Orisa's ice on it, and there will be no way to get them out of it unless you invest something.
Ooh. Chasey gets walked on. Dawes, Ewan, and Karaki getting some picks, and there we go. Chaos, just like that, 3% and counting from 23. And they're going to push in here into this spawn, trying to get set up here a little bit more aggressively than Chasey. And they do have Chasey's ult coming up, so next fight's going to be important.
Right, and all I want to say, definitely beautiful first fight for the set of Raygun, but Paul getting a little bit too close to the sun and you get burnt. When you're peeking Karaki, Hot Dog, you better be ready to pay the consequences, like be ready for the consequences like this Terra Search.
I mean, there's not even anything to say here. Immediately 5 picks, I guess 4 picks in Chasey. Sorry, what were you saying, Biscuits? You just want to keep that train of thought going?
You know, this is all deriving of a 1-1v1 that went slightly wrong, and now you're getting a lot of your spawns. So, Chaos, they use the Terra Search, they use a window, and now you have 5 ultimates on the side of Raygun. Well, soon enough overclock to take over it. Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, that's just smart positioning. Great pick from Optical with that Venture ultimate, and now another pick from Saga tunneling in on Saga. Optical just making it happen. They do fall. Paul and Saga. Okay, now there we go. Picks coming in for I have Raygun. Trying to walk in, and now Chaos forced back. Karaki does have the Sojourn ult ready, but on the side of I have Raygun, we got 3 ultimates. Paul, Twist, and Chasey ready to go. Kinetic Grass coming in, and now a Sigma ult thrown in. I'm not sure if it's gonna get anyone. Actually, I survived to get 2 picks or 2 people rather. No dice though in terms of killing them as there was in Immortality Field, but Chaos 79% and counting. Twist able to get some magic happening with their ult Sojourn. Put that in, and it's just back and forth, but okay, High Ray Gun, they did end up capping that 30% to 80 here.
And now Optical, during that fight that came before this one, in the spawn of the side of a Have Raygun's team, they try to drill Chasey off the map. They don't do it, so there's no movement, nowhere to go, and they get shot for it. 80% on the side of Chaos. Now that they're coming back halfway onto that tectonic shock, which is just so strong. You get it so fast, man. And this window is going to give them such a huge advantage over Chasey, who has to get out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. Sojourn ult is just so gross on its own, but going through an immortality or amplification matrix makes it even scarier. And now Paul did use their ult as well, but Deadeye unfortunately went to sleep. No dice for them. Dawes half health in a dream, staying alive, able to push in here. Does have Terror ready, throws it in, uses it. Doesn't get anyone, does bring people in, but unfortunately no kills. 5-sign Bakery though. I mean, hey, that could work. Chasey and Paulo, 2 picks for I've Raygun. Ewan finding Saga, 99% in the form of Chaos, but in the midst of all this, 62% able to recap that. And I have Raygun. I mean, if they lose this next fight, Chaos wins this point.
Yeah, exactly. And it's as simple as that, right? There could be maybe a little bit of a miracle stagger, a little miracle stall, but it's not going to happen. Optical has a tectonic shift, and Saga needs to be ready to beat it, because your backline is definitely.
Oh, boy! Optical going in, using that ult, the Burrow, trying to chase down the Chasey. Forcing out Saga to use their sound barrier, and now Live Raygun has the last fight here, and now Elon matching this sound barrier, pushing in potentially. Dawes looking to keep things alive, pushing in. 3 picks coming in for Chaos. Oh man, Twist trying to equalize. They do find the support. Baptiste is out of the picture for 5. They did use the amplification field before that though. Paul finds Elon and Dawes fighting Paul. I mean, it's just back and forth, but in the midst of all this, Chaos does succeed, and they were able to secure the objective. Chasey did try to make some magic happen on the Wrecking Ball here. And yeah, this, so far, Lijiang has been very exciting. Lots of good, again, compositions in general coming in. I've liked how Dawes has played Orisa. Very disruptive. Chasey on the Sigma as well has been very good with those boulders. In general, again, a great first round. Biscuit, what are your thoughts on that?
So, a little bit of a technical issue right there. I wasn't able to see what happened, but I'm assuming Kuraki just tectonic shocked 5 people and they won, so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just saying more in general, Chaos. I mean, again, it was back and forth. I've liked Chasey's disruptive gameplay. As we get into this next point, what are your thoughts? I mean, Dawes is on Doomfist now as well, and a little bit different look in general.
And this is pretty good, right? Because you have a lot of disruption on the side of Chaos, and you're going to dive this backline with a Pharah all over in the skies. You don't need a Mercy for this, right? This new Pharah definitely doesn't fly as much as the old one. Kind of moves back and forward, back and forward. So Kiriko could be more than enough. What is going to be all about is the fight of who am I going to look at? Do I have to look at the big punching man in my backline, or do I look at the woman throwing rockets at me and killing me 2 shots? You don't know the answer, and neither do I. They have to get back on the map. Kuraki, a little bit of a blunder there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that was on purpose because that he didn't die. They didn't die. So the Bakery finds Dawes already an advantage for I've Raygun. Baptiste, as we mentioned before, has been so good at being aggressive as well as able to keep their team healed. And in the midst of all that, I've Raygun does have captured the point 10% so far as a fight on the bridge here.
Right, even if Dawes has a lot of survivability by jumping, by the shield generating, by blocking, Chasey has a big rock, and a big rock has been a big solution for a lot of mankind's problems, like a Doomfist in your backline. So you have to be really careful when that happens, and Optical needs to take as much mileage of the disadvantages they're being put in. Oh my god, double pick for inside of Chaos already.
I mean, yeah, speaking of big rock, I mean, it's not big enough, it seems. It's Kuraki Optical and Dawes gets a pick. Dawes finds Paula as well, and it seems though Chaos able to make the damage stop at about 40%, and now it's just clean up here for Chasey. Yeah, there we go. Able to stop the upward counter for the blue team, and Chaos in control.
Right, Dawes needs to really be in that backline and disrupt them as much as possible so that Optical can just fly in and do as much damage as possible. Changing onto the Diva for Chase is going to be really key, because that defensive matrix is going to deny Opticals. Ultimate is going to deny Opticals. Rockets is going to be able to dive Optical if needed, but oh no, where are you going?
I mean, they're looking for a boot, but unfortunately, Chasey did swap to Diva. I'm not sure they just didn't notice that, but I mean, Chasey didn't notice them. And then Barrage comes in, but oh boy, I have Raygun. Unfortunately, they were ready, and now 3 picks come in, and it's going to be another cap here for the team in blue, and yeah, 44% to roughly 40 here.
Optical hitting him with the boring in chat because that's exact. Chasing, great recognition right there, because while you may have your ultimate on Sigma, your entire team is going to like to barrage. Like, you need to do something, and that switch definitely shuts down a lot of the game plan on the side of Chaos. Look, they still have Doomfist, they haven't switched, but now it's not as strong because you can only look at Doomfist, and you don't have to worry about far, you don't have to worry about like 30 other things, right? Kitsune going in, and this is such a messy fight.
Yeah, there you go. Paul finds Karaki there. As Dawes Twist was able to find Dawes with that Sojourn ultimate. Five's equalizing, finding that DPS though. I mean, hey, right now I have Raygun is in the driver's seat, and seems like, yeah, that boring gameplay by Chasey seems to be winning them. Man, how dare they?
Yeah, as a tank, you know, sometimes you have to do the things you don't want to do, but have to do. You know, Dawes going in with a meteor strike, visioning a little bit and taking control over the bridge. Will they take anything? No!
Boy. Twists here, finds Dawes, and now Saga with the sound barrier. It's going to be pretty much game over for this point, and now I have Raygun now just cleaning up, trying to get this Lucio off, get this Tree Frog out of here, and there we go. Ooh, yep, there we go. It is now 1-1 on Li Zhang here. And man, yeah, I just keep laughing at boring. Yeah, sorry for... Yeah, Chasey, how dare you press H? How dare you press H? How dare you more optimal?
You know, on tank, you don't get to play what you want to play, man. I
don't know. Chasey on D.Va is already scary, so I think they're pretty happy with it. But you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right. And you know, I'm always very happy because whenever I'm on cast, the observer showed me this angle. We're gonna zoom in on the Boba Tea like production. Oh, sadly we don't get it, but you know, 10 seconds, and this will be the decider of our match. So Chasey is back on the Sigma, but it looks like Chaos is not backing down from Dawes on Doomfist. Ana will be locked in for Ewan, but there will be no Brig. Decisively kind of weird decision. You know, you usually play your Ana Brig for like defense on the Ana and just get infinite heals, but Kiriko is able to peel them out, is able to like cleanse them out of Susu. It's able to cleanse with Susu, but look at that, Chasey and Saga going back into the spot and changing instantly.
D.Va, yeah, they would just want that mobility, and I don't blame them. A1 finds Paul, and it's just going to be a cap for Chaos. And honestly, like, I don't hate that. What that was, you were trading, right? You trade some like percentage potentially, and you know, positioning, but you don't lose a bunch of all percentage, right? So Chasey, as I say, that actually goes in and immediately starts feeding HP as they try and take this point. Half health there, Dawes, and trying to get pushed back, potentially. Chasey being aggressive here. Yeah, 12% and counting. They actually cap it. I'm sorry, I spoke out a turn there. They had a game plan I did not know about. Saga, Paul, and Twist gets picks, and Chaos now on the back foot. I'm sorry, I was not familiar with the guys' game. I have Raygun. I was not familiar.
I wish for us to be able to get a clip of Chasey doing a 180 and switching his spawn. That was so funny and such an optimal play. And I was about to say, Chaos, I love Dawes, I love you on Doomfist, but Orisa needs to be locked in. Something has to be locked in to deal with Chasey on this D.Va, because it might just be the end for your team. Karaki dropping a little low. They might just die from this. Anti-heal is going to be cleansed with Susu, and now we're in. Dawes against the world right here.
Yeah, Paul is able to stay alive here with a dream, 71%. Bakery does find Optical in all of this. I mean, another pick for Bakery, finds Dawes. Twist finds Fives. I have Raygun. I'm in a great spot here. Yeah, I mean, again, that aggressive push in that I was, again, I need to emphasize, very wrong about, was absolutely the magic here. Great job with that momentum.
Right, and this is a lot of momentum for the side of I have Raygun. This D.Va definitely shutting down the beginning of anything that Chaos wanted to do. The bomb is going to get someone, Karaki!
I mean, I think he was aiming to get, they were aiming to get the second Lucio too, but I mean, just getting one is going to be enough. Paul here chasing, being harassing on this D.Va. Half health, pushing the back, 75% and counting for I have Raygun, and Paul finding Ewan. I mean, this is going to be potentially it. Chasey, 1 HP, half health now, able to heal up. I mean, I have Raygun, has so many ults. This might be it, but Biscuit.
Right, and I don't think there's anything you can do if you're on the side of Chaos. Look, you have a couple of ultimates. Ewan going in with a Hail Mary, but they have one of their own, and this fight is so messy.
It is every support all going in, but Paul in the midst of it finds fives. That's going to be it. I think one less support is going to be one less bit of healing for you, and now without that support, Dawes is demeched. Ewan and Optical, though, finds 2 picks. Paul finds Optical, though. This could be a twist, though. I mean, no. I mean, on the Soldier, it's been so lights out. Ewan able to find Paul trying to stay alive. Here we go. Chasey 1 HP before being demeched. Right now, Kiriko staying alive, trying to duel 2 people at once. I've seen it. I've seen it. Unfortunately,
it's not today.
That was about as close as you could get. Chaos falls 2-1 to Ive Raygun, but man, that last fight, it was close, and I just can't get over that play from Chasey. That was, I think it caught everyone off. It caught me off guard. It caught Chaos off guard.
I am looking at the map, and I'm like, what is Chasey doing in the spawn? Are they like AFK? I know they're just running back in with Saga. Hey guys, we have to play D.Va here, and Saga, beautiful beat right there, saves their team, booms them off the map, and gets a pick on the side. That's exactly what the BPL Rock Rumble is all about. Big switches, even bigger wins. Chasey takes it all home with the D.Va pick, which, you know, not to say that Optical was, not to say that, for example, the Chaos didn't do great, not to say that the rest of the team didn't do great also on the side of Raygun, but that was the Chasey show on D.Va, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, Chasey on tank, again, like we were talking about, you know, first round, give Chasey a way to play these slow characters, and you'll have success. Able to play, I mean, again, slow characters is the right word, excuse me, tankier characters, the big boy boys. Like, again, like Wrecking Ball, D.Va especially, I mean, great utilization of the defense matrix, getting a so accurate boring from Optical. Gameplay, oh no, he got counterplay.
Right.
I don't know.
It's you know, the H key, it's magical, you know. When they press it on the tank roll, I think it should be banned, man. You know, you must like be chained to your desk forever to the character that you picked, but it doesn't happen today, and I have Raygun definitely takes it away on a beautiful comeback, because that first game definitely leaves the impression of like, hey, Chaos is gonna take it all, right? But then a change of pace that may have happened of 1 pick in Colosseo, right? Getting a little bit too close to the sun, you know, Dawes playing, getting rocked, and then dying instantly to be in that middle of the map gives them so much momentum that you cannot stop. And then, you know, Lijiang Tower is just, they pressed H. What can we do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are going to go to a break momentarily after we quick look at the standings. So let's quick blast through that we can get some water and get your snacks for the next round of Overwatch. There we go. So like we mentioned, Shogunate, high 5, getting 2-0s, 2-1 here. Ive Raygun versus Chaos, Seas, and Malware also 2-1. Tagates and Starlighters 1-2. Result Rising 2 versus Koziki Tablet 1-2. Rolldown, Beagle's Bastards 1-2, and Foundry 0-2. Biscuit, before we had even started talking, I would mention, like, yeah, we're gonna be a little bit one-sided for a minute. Already, this is kind of shaking out here a little bit.
Yeah, and I like to see that the Swiss is not entirely, you know, 2-0 at the beginning. It definitely speaks of a tournament in which teams are able to like take games off of each other at random. So what does that mean? Playoffs are going to be exciting. So if you want to find out what's going to happen from here on out, from on round 3, and what you want to see the standings, for example, these are the standings. The Shogunate side in with high 5, Foundry and Rolldown still fighting for that first win that they may be able to get, and we have a lot of teams that are 1-1, you know, after the results of a couple of earlier matches. So our round 3 will be coming in real quick, but we need a little bit of a break. So the standings are right here. You can look at them whenever. You can check out the Solomon.gg page, and Hot Dog, I believe, will be back in just a couple of minutes.
You better believe it. Welcome back. We are once again ready for some more Overwatch action. I'm Hot Dog, joined here with Biscuit. Yeah, we got a hot one coming in. Both teams, Biscuit 1-1. Baegle's Bastards and Starlighters should be an exciting one. And here are what the schedule looks like here.
Look, we have our schedule here. Baegle's Bastards versus Starlighters, Foundry versus Brazil Uprising, and Seas versus the Shogunate, which, you know, one of the top teams right now, Shogunate on that right side. But, you know, I also want to talk about the rosters, you know, a little bit of an apology from my side, you know, being a little bit late. But hopefully we'll be able to get a really good game in. Let's look at Baegle's Bastards. I am familiar with Butters and Noodle. I've played with them before. Really talented on Genji and Tracer on the side of Noodle, really good dive DPS, and Butters, you know, one of the all-rounder DPS of all time, absolute consistency at its max. And Jolt, we have to remember, if I'm not mistaken, the winner of Kitsune League Season 2 on B-League, I think. You can call me out on it, but Jolt's Sojourn is one to be feared. Topper, Budget, Baegle are a little bit of mysterious to me, and Fate, of course, are really good support as well. You have a solid backline on Baegle's Bastards, and a really good DPS lineup. But Starlighters, do you know anything about this team, Hot Dog?
I mean, I'm just looking at some names: Gag, Stratocaster, Drayton. That's a good backline, to put it mildly. Not as familiar with Fimi Loyal, Didn't You See Me lore, but again, I want to highlight these teams both are 1-1. So I mean, just that alone gonna be pretty even. Just a quick go on that, Baegle's Bastards did lose 2-0 to the previous matchup, or team on this stream rather. I have Ray Gun, and then Starlighters lost a high 5. So both teams that are kind of high up on the rankings. So I'm kind of trying to see if there's any like indication of who might win, even just looking at all that. But it's a toss-up, I'd say.
Yeah, it looks very tight. Fimi, Dr. Jargo, as we will see on the in-game name. Lore really strong, and we also have Gag and Shadowcaster, strong backline as well. So Hot Dog, both teams definitely seem to be up to par with each other. We have to remember, for example, Didn't You See Me also played in leagues like Tranquility, if I'm not mistaken. I think I played against them on my own time, so I can tell you these are good people. And then Lore, you know, BPL season 3 champion, you know, probably one of the Snowdown winners as well. And Shadowcaster, been on maybe one too many teams and captain for a lot of them. However, we have to also call out, you know, a couple of their side victories, like in the MILF tournament, you know, a couple of things. Thank you.
Zoom in. Don't stop zooming out. Stop zooming out. Zoom in. Tell Prod to zoom in. I don't want to go away from the fish. No, no, backwards, no.
Yes.
A static shot. Now zoom in. I want to be eaten by the fish.
I love this fish. I love the aura that it has. You know, it's lovely. Thank you, observers, for finding the beautiful angles in such a short time. The season you just released, and we already know the good angles.
Yes. There we go. This is the
slowly going in.
Looking at these comps, what are your thoughts on these comps?
You know, I love that you just beatbox and then just instantly, right? What about the comps? You know, it's kind of locking in for a couple of seconds. I appreciate it, Hot Dog. I love the theme song, and I want to say Baegle's Bastards definitely has a stronger comp, in my opinion. You have a lot of sustain on the side of Fate, on the side of Butters, and then you have Budget going in with the Bencher. Bencher, definitely one of those DPS that makes you sweat. What are you gonna do about the Burrow? Nothing. There's nothing you can do, and your entire team has to be there to punish it, but the other team has to be there to help them. So Baegle's Bastards slowly going in onto the point.
Dr. Jargo on the Battle Cattle, pushing in half health, forced to block backwards, and right now they're going to be pushing in and getting the point cap. Okay, so yeah, Baegle's Bastards electing to just kind of fight off the point and not really fight at all and just let them cap the point. And now Starlighters on the rotation here, the next point, and I mean, yeah, not a whole lot to say beyond that. Topper pushed back here. There is no more mortality field on the side of Baegle's Bastards, so they're on a back foot a little bit here. They need to walk back, not fast enough. Stratocaster finds Topper. There we go. Starlighters looking to equalize here as their tank falls dangerously low. Dr. Jargo able to be kept alive here, as now with all that healing going out, Kia does have a Moira ult, and it looks like another fight win for Starlighters, actually.
The first capture was more like a gentle transaction. Like, can I have the point? And beautiful coalescence. I love the idea of going fast, but you have to look out for those spears. No fade? Jolt manages to get Kia, and this could be the beginning of something. 17 seconds means that Didn't You See Me and Kia will be back soon enough. So Hot Dog, this is not the end of it.
Yeah, no, they used the fade and then immediately got picked off kind of immediately after that. So unfortunately did not time that well. An aggressive fade that aggressively sends them back to spawn, and now Baegle's Bastards here looking to capture the point, get their foot back on the pedals, and here we go. 1-2 again, point B unlocking, and Starlighters will meet Baegle's Bastards here in the middle.
You know, after that bizarre first cap and then a stomp on the second one, see, it seems like this will be a nice change of pace for Baegle's Bastards. You know, getting a little bit too close to the sun on the set of Topper's heat meter for the gun. Everyone is looking at them, but Starlighters slowly coming in, going in with that overclock is going to be really important, and a beautiful Terror Surge pulling them in.
Yeah, finds budget. That's going to be a good first pick here for Starlighters, but Fate finding Dr. Jargo. Now you're just weighing, I mean, I was going to say weighing the cost of a tanker's DPS, but losing support as well. Starlighters definitely the back foot. Stratocaster falling as well. Topper invested in ultimate. And there we go. Topper cleaning off as well the DPS, and we're going to have another point for Baegle's Bastards. And now it looks like they're going to walk in once again.
Right, and all I want to say, right, it seems a little bit overkill for Topper to use their ultimate right there, but getting them off of B point is going to be really important, Hot Dog, because we have to remember, if Starlighters captures A, no matter what happens, it's going to be an instant win right then and there. So back to where it all started, 2-2, C point is right there, and Starlighters is going in with a beat and an overclock for the set of Didn't You See Me, which has to be an absolute difference maker.
Yeah, speaking of beat, Stratocaster launches it off the top rope here. Dr. Jargo falls dangerously low. Budget finds Dr. Jargo with the pulse bomb. Unfortunately, Budget did fall, kind of using that, but hey, that'll do just fine. Didn't you see me? Fade apparently did not, as they fall to the Sojourn ultimate, and now Starlighters definitely looking to make this a fight win for this red team. Luau finding Jolt. Jolt was able to find Kia, but the Moira pick, unfortunately, not going to be enough. Stratocaster finds Topper, and Starlighters going to get the fight win. It will be 3-2 here on this point of Hanoka.
And beautiful job. I'm sorry. From Starlighters, you know, slowly taking back the lead that was kind of taken away from them. 2 points away from victory, and that's all that matters for now, because they're on the absolute gas pedal. Kia using the cold essence and going fast with it.
Dr. Jargo, it's, okay, Topper Houston ultimate didn't get anyone, but Dr. Jargo got 2 people, including the opposing Orisa. Stratocaster falls to Jolt ultimate, and now it is a fight on the point, is scrim, a brawl. Butters finds the upper hand on Kia, support diff it seems for the moment. Now Baegle's Bastards fighting, looking to get this point. Luau finding Budget's going to make it hard to win that fight. Luau in the backline as well, waiting to unleash this pulse bomb on some unsuspecting person. Topper and Jolt gets 2 people. Luau might elect to hold on to this here with this this fight difference coming in. Going to continue to jump on the point, and there we go. Luau falls. Butters being the difference maker, and it's 3-3 here. It's a tight back and forth.
Yeah, tight back and forward is exactly what it is, and both teams 2 points away from victory, and it looks like it's just Topper using a couple of ultimates. Jolt definitely like running people over with that overclock, and that's exactly what I expected to see when I saw Jolt on that roster sheet. Look, Jolt going in, the loser's very disconnected, so moving in on this pick could be a big play. However, there's someone else to back them up. Luau goes in for a pulse bomb, no cigar, and it's going to be Dr. Jargo with a Terror Surge, looking at the support straight in the eye.
Yeah, here we go. Launching a Q button. Unfortunately, no dice, but putting it all together might have been the difference maker as a beat comes in from Stratocaster. 2 picks as well. Make it 3. Moira here being the right-click demon. Oh, here we go. 4. Jolt falls as well to the right-clicking Moira. And now Starlighters up 4-3, and it is it. Potentially match point for this red team.
I don't think it will be a Hot Dog. Look at the ultimates that they have inside of Baegle's Bastards, right? 5 ultimates potentially in the middle of it, and they have a Kitsune and window ready. And Jolt, oh, never mind. Shadowcaster, they might not even need to use anything here. Without losing, you don't have your disengage, and this is when you need to get staggers, Hot Dog, if you want to have your ultimates for a last fight.
100%. Didn't you see me? I didn't see that. Apparently, Jolt finds the opposing Sojourn, and now Luau finds their opposing DPS in Jolt. It's back and forth as it has been the whole game, believe it or not. Butters finds Kia again, just a menace on this Kiriko, but unfortunately, staring down the battle cattle, Butters falls. Budget finds Dr. Jargo, but I mean, that pick is immediately erased as Fate falls. Stratocaster, 2 picks here. Budget falls as well. Starlighters, they're trying to finish this out here. The Topper does not want that to happen. I'm not sure it's going to be much ability to stop this here. Didn't you see me in Luau picking off 2 more people, and Starlighters potentially here ready to take Hanakao, and they're gonna do it.
I don't think they know. They have a touch right there, and you need to get a stagger right here. Fate is about to use window, and Jolt is about to come back with an overclock that is going to send you into a world of hurt. So you need to get something here in your Starlighters. Topper finds Kia, and Dr. Jargo finds Fate.
I mean, hey, back and forth once again. It's even. Topper finds Stratocaster. Now Bagel's Bastards is in the clear. 2 picks coming in, but now Luau finds Topper. No tank on both sides. Jolt finding Didn't You See Me. No Sojourn. Budget finds Lau. No DPS for Starlighters. Bagel's Bastards, well done. Able to get this and making it match point for both teams potentially if they can clinch out this cap here.
It's a tricky decision. You definitely have to like be on lock to react to it, but Dr. Jargo using an ultimate there could be a nail in the coffin for this next fight, right? They had to realize, hey, Stratocaster's down, we might as well just lose this fight and have something guaranteed maybe for next one, but it's not going to happen. Back to C point, and it's like a flashback from last game. Jolt uses overclock, and this is when you have to get something.
Absolutely. Jolt 75 HP, 69 55. All right, able to stay alive somehow there. A lot of focus here from the support line as Topper finds in. You see Aldo finding Budget back and forth. A pulse bomb comes in from Topper as a beat comes in from Stratocaster. Dr. Jargo 1 HP, able to stay alive. Kia and Stratocaster desperately trying to do something. Luau finds Butters. This could be it. Bagel's Bastards forcing a swap here. Topper having to go to a Doomfist here. Jolt finding that pick on Dr. Jargo. Could be it. Starlighters not having the tank. It's terrible. Not going to be easy to fight. Didn't You See Me finding Fate, and now another pick coming in. Jolt as finding picks as well as getting picked off. It has been so back and forth, but now it looks like Bagel's Bastards is in the clear. This Stratocaster needs to stay alive at half health, trying to get some sort of value out of this Lucio pick, but it's going to be tough. Didn't You See Me coming in on this ultimate here, so close, but able to stay alive. This could be the difference maker. Hydra Sojourn pumping damage. That's what you need. Luau finds Topper. I mean, Biscuit, this is so back and forth. I mean, it's constant. Didn't You See Me? It's Starlighters. Here we go. 2 picks, 3 picks coming in. This could be it. 4 picks. Didn't You See Me? Making it happen. Kia finds Fate half the way, and Starlighters, I think they've locked it in.
It's such a rough fight towards the end, and it looks like Starlighters is going to be the winner of this. Look, at the beginning, hey, I just want to say, last match, we got the I love this game mode, and now we get the bad game mode. So I love to be real.
I don't know if the love this game mode was as sincere as the bad game mode that we just saw in chat.
There was no, you know, hard to tell. Man, they might hate it, they might not hate it. I think it's fun, but I will say, Jolt putting on a performance there towards the end. Tragic that Luau is right there to punish, and then even then, like, it's just if we could watch the replay, you would see Jolt is picking up 4 people, but it doesn't matter. Like their team is not there. Like the staggers are coming in, and then it's just, hey, switch into Doomfist to touch, switch into Lucy to touch, right? And they're coming back and forth until like at the end they just have an overclock. There's nothing you can do, but it was so close, hot dog. It could have gone to anyone.
Yeah, and that was again, I mean, I'm broken record. I feel like this game mode lends itself to being, you know, draw Nomura, like we said last game. It's back and forth. You mess up one ultimate rotation, and suddenly instead of winning the next 2 rounds, you're losing the next 3 and having to do the same thing back to the other team. So good on Starlighters for making it happen, but I mean, it was tooth and nail to the very end.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those game modes. It is definitely one of those game modes in which it's like you have to go fast, and at some point you're so close to A, but their spawn is also right there, and they're just gonna come back in, and it's back. I think it's gonna be really hard in these game modes to just win by capturing instantly. It could happen, and we almost saw it happen twice in a row. And the thing that I'm really happy about Hot Dog is that it was a 4 and 5. Definitely, we don't have any idea of how this set is going to go. Starlighters takes the win, but we saw Joel do some miracles on those picks, and anything could happen now that we're moving on to our next game mode, which is going to be Push Hot Dog.
Yeah, we will see if we'll have Colosseo once again. Regardless, it seems like Colosseo or push in the last few maps here that have not been 2-0s has been kind of the difference maker. You know, able to kind of eke out who, you know, really has a good grasp on their team and the comps they can play. So we're gonna have to see, once they actually kind of, lock in this map pick, where we're, who comes out on top.
Right.
Be a 2-0.
And the other thing, right, is going to be Baegle's Bastard is going to have the pick. So at the beginning, we're all just kind of playing Draw Namura, like whatever happens. It's like the pick that you have to play. But now you're gonna get to play whatever you want. Do you want those long sight lanes? You could lock in the new Queen Street. Do you want to play Dive? Esperanza is going to be your pick. Do you want to play Sigma and more of these like brawl, slow pushing it in comps? Colosseo is going to be right there for you. It might not. Oh, the pick is going to be Colosseo, okay, even though Baegle's has a bad history on it.
Well, I mean, it's only one map, right? This is it's I would say it's a little bit tougher, kind of with the shorter tournament to get a lot of value, kind of with these in the first day or two. I think by tomorrow, having the map record will be a little bit easier once teams have gone through a couple series, but I'm sure they have a game plan. Like if they chose it, they must have some plan, or at least you'd think, right? You'd think they have a plan, right?
Yeah, and I would think, hey, maybe just losing one time, it could be unlucky, so why not try it the second time, right? I think it's going to be really interesting what happens in Colosseo, because both teams, again, close a really close battle at the beginning. And Hot Dog, I'm expecting the Sigma for the beginning, like, controlling the neutral ground, but we could see the Orisa, we could see the Ramatra, and I kind of want to see Bencher, but it seems like people are kind of not picking them just yet. Beautiful angles again from our Cyber Thinker production team. I will always say, casters, we have beautiful Hot Dog being the face of the stream, but we have so many people working behind the scenes that you really need to thank them for everything they do. 3 seconds until we find out what we're going to be walking out on, and it looks like it's going to be an Orisa mirror match.
I just want to know what game is played in that arena. Yes, Orisa mirror match. I mean, hey, the Battle Cattle, it's strong if you're able to play it well and understand intricacies of the kit, push forward, don't move, and throw thing. You're able to be successful, right? It just comes down to, again, actually capitalize on the mistakes, which seems to be at this, again, like this level of just gameplay when you're in a team. Which team can make the least amount of mistakes, right?
Yeah, and again, you're going to see a lot of really consistent gameplay the entire time, and it looks like Baegle. Okay, I want to mention Baegle's Bastards, name after Baegle, of course. They're on mercy. Like, they just trust Joel to be the best of all time and do so much work with his pocket. And Noodle is going to be in on Tracer. Tracer, we have to know, is going to be countered really hard by Bencher. They are able to put in so much damage, and one dash puts him at half HP. So it looks like this matchup is definitely in the favor of Baegle's Bastards, I want to think, because a mercy pocket is really hard to deal with, especially when Jolt is the one piloting it and Shadowcaster is just going in.
Yeah, the eponymous Baegle there, trying to keep the Sojourn alive, but unfortunately no dice. Now Baegle, unfortunately, they do have a bastard to jump to, thank goodness. Lore on Sojourn, pushing the cart, putting a lot of damage on Topper, already half health as Cat and Stratocaster both find 2 picks on the opposing support, and now Gagster, I mean, yeah, right now, Baegle's Bastards pushing in, and that's going to be, I think maybe even like the first point if they play this.
Yeah. Look at this 1v1, by the way. Like, it's just so oppressive for Tracer. There's nothing, like, Bencher doesn't need as much accuracy as you do. They have to run away. Good job from Noodle, but at the end of the day, Starlighters has a lot of space on the map, and it looks like Mata is almost out to get their Terra Surge. This is looking like Starlighters is looking for a quick game right here, and Shadowcaster, beautiful pick right there.
Yeah, Jolt finds Kia as well, and now Jolt finding Lore as well. Now Fate getting resurrected by Baegle. The ultimate bastard maneuver. That's what's going to be a fight win potentially for Baegle here. 5 ults coming in. Noodle does fall, but Jolt finding Stratocaster means that they can push in and get some distance in their own name. 8 minutes on the clock, and they're going to start getting some distance right about now.
Right. First couple of meters, this is definitely not as much of a I'm taking every single meter as we were casting earlier, Hot Dog, and I like to see it because it's more even. Baegle getting a little bit too close to the sun, and they are able to fly away. There's going to be a Valkyrie pop to provide support for the team from very far away, and Jolt needs to use this overclock with this giant beam.
Kia using a Kiriko ult as well. Stratocaster in the midst of that finds Jolt as Mata walks in here. Lore finds some ults.
Oh my god!
Too, but it doesn't matter because Stratocaster finds 3 picks there. Mata and maybe stops walking there to be a little bit of a BM, a bad boy there. But Yeah, doesn't get
Holy.
punished for that. And Baegle's Bastards gonna have to meet them at this this checkpoint.
That's why I was excited to see Venture. Like, Venture is such a strong character that when your team is pushing with you, you cannot shoot them, you cannot kill them, you cannot do anything to them. So, you know, 55 meters and counting. Shadowcaster definitely about to get another ult, and Laura is on the off angle with this overclock. The point is about to reach the checkpoint, and will they be able to stagger it here? Will they be able to stop it? Topper is going to be on the case.
I mean, they'll be able to at least stall it, I think. I mean, that at the very least. This point is designed to be very easy to stall for the defending team, but now if you lose a person, Noodle being sent back to spawn is going to be tough to play with here. Starlighters being aggressive. Get 2 picks, though, on the opposing team from Topper, but it doesn't matter. Stratocaster gets 2 picks of their own, and Laura finds Baegle as well. I mean, 6.5 minutes, and now we got Butt Scratch. The most important part of this whole map, the Butt Scratch. And Baegle's Bastards are sitting pretty, or Starlighters are sitting pretty, excuse me.
They are not sitting, they are pushing in, and it's slowly creeping up on you. They're pushing really pretty, and Noodle is now on kind of realizing, oh my god, Jolt, you didn't have to do that. Laura goes down, and this is your fight to win if you're on Baegle's Bastards. But Shadowcaster might have something to say about that.
I mean, they didn't have to do it, but I think they really had to do it because this could be last fight. But Jolt's getting a few picks of their own makes it so this definitely will not be the last fight. But Mata, maybe it will be because I'm just going to push this other tank around. Oh my goodness. Fate able to be the hero, though, finally gets a stop here. Stratocaster, 1 HP in a dream, trying to kill the Baptiste. Able to do it, maybe. Fate, though, with the punch. Oh,
well, Laura is...
they got to run, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think you're winning that, but that was far too close for comfort, right? Jolt shuts down Laura instantly. They don't even get to use her ultimate, and they were still so close to losing that. Hot dog. If this is not a showcase of what Starlighters is all about, I don't know what it is. Stratocaster putting on an absolute clinic on the Venture, but now that we're back into this neutral space, this is when Venture kind of struggles a little bit. How are you going to get in? It's going to be the answer. Dr. Jargo going slowly and giving space for Venture.
Gagster thrown in an ultimate as well as Kia. Both Stratocaster finds Jolt on the backs of those there. Dr. Jargo has it. They're all 2 on Orisa, looking for a way to push in and potentially use it. Baegle's Bastards need to do something here. They use the Mercy ultimate potentially to try and stay alive, but not going to really do a whole lot. Noodle falls here, trying to try and res.
Beautiful.
Knocked out. Unfortunately for them, Dr. Jargo says, no, I've got a big old javelin for you. Pushing Topper around as well. They're going to try and walk them down. Starlighters here, we need to get the momentum here. They're going to try and push in and get the priority respawns again. And actually, in the midst of this, Baegle's Bastards actually have to push this. They might not get this point now.
Yeah, it might be a little too tricky for them to really retake, and it looks like Starlighters lost that fight, which kind of strange considering they got so many picks. Shadowcasters right there, hopefully to bring some support, but there's no support to be giving to Dr. Jargo, who's already respawning and coming back to the fight. Baegle's Bastards slowly creeping it in. Noodle, I like to see that they kind of give up on the Tracer pick because against Venture, that's so tough, but this is going to allow them to cripple Shadowcaster's movements, right? They will not be able to dig, they will not be able to dash as soon as they get sticky, so Noodle might have to do something with that, but it doesn't matter, they go down.
Yeah, Stratocaster, I mean, on this this Ventures have been so good.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even need to say anything else beyond that.
That's a highlight reel. That's a... I
mean, yeah, you did it. I mean, I wish I had more things to say than that, but yeah, Baegle's Bastards fall to Venture. Stratocaster has been a menace on this character, and now Starlighters able to get that priority respawn once again as Baegle's Bastards respawn and walk to meet them.
Don't forget to check out BPL Clips of the Week, because Tanamai just hit up, you know, your Discord timeline, I guess. Topper is now on Sigma, definitely slowing down the pace, hopefully enough to make it so that Laura cannot just run on your team. Jolt jumps off, and Baegle in a little bit of a struggle right here. Gets the pick, what a flick!
Oh, Baegle, man, you did not want to be there. Topper finds Laura, though, potentially able to kind of equalize things, and Fate and Jolt gets picks. Okay, maybe Baegle's Bastards able to stay alive off of that. Starlighters not able to capitalize and continue pushing the cart, but they're going to keep getting some distance, but I feel like Baegle's Bastards should win this. Yeah, they do. Find Dr. Jargo, but 107 meters to 30 meters with 2.5 minutes left. It's looking a little dicey.
It's looking very dicey, and I think the Mercy Pocket hasn't been as convenient as we expected. Lore definitely has been able to match a little bit of the picks, a little bit of the pace, even without one. A lot of it has to do with, Stratocaster definitely making a lot of really big plays, making a lot of saves, and now the Kitsune Rush. You don't really have an answer for Noodle is on Genji, and they're just going in at you.
Jolt getting some boost here by Baegle, trying to get some extra damage. Lore finds Topper though, so they are going to have to get pushed back here. Unfortunately, no dice for the defense. Stratocaster finds Noodle. The Genji pick, unfortunately, not getting a whole lot of light. Still at 30%. Ult is Stratocaster coming in on another one for them. Jolt finds Gag, but unfortunately not going to matter as Lore gets 2 more picks, and we are walking in here. This could be it. Minute and a half on the clock for Starlighters.
This could be it, but even if you're Starlighters, you don't necessarily are too worried if you're not able to cap. Your advantage is so big, and they don't really have a lot of ultimates to match. Your Mercy Pocket is going to be on Jolt, who might be overclocking soon. Dr. Jargo's going in, and this might be a Terrasur just to end Topper's life.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be, I think, a battle of ults here as Fate uses this this amplification matrix, and unfortunately, for Starlighters, gets the pick. Fate has been so good on this Baptiste here. Great headshot here as Dr. Jargo going around this battle cat, looking for a way to throw in this ultimate. So far, no dice. Stratocaster gets to 1 HP, stays alive here. Noodle able to dice through, gets Kya. Jolt falls as well. Stratocaster sent back to spawn. Jargo tries to equalize here with a pick on Noodle, but it's not going to matter. Baegle's Bastards, minute on the clock. They're going to have a miracle here to make it to, 115 and a half meters here.
And I'm getting mirages from I have Raygun versus Chaos, because this is when you just can't afford to lose, can't afford to stop your push at any cost, right? This fight is going to start approximately 30 seconds, and whoever dies will not be back in a little bit. So Baegle has a Valkyrie. This race might be huge, and oh my god, what a spear.
I mean, a complete whiff here on that ultimate there. Topper gonna be kicking themselves on that. As I say that, Jolt uses Sojourn ult as a beat comes out from Gag.
Oh, no.
Dr. Jargo as well walks in, tries to use ultimate, gets a pick there. Stratocaster did not get any ultimate kill, but did get the immortality field, opening things up here for the rest of the team. Baegle, it resurrects Fate, but it's not going to matter. Stratocaster and Lore find 2 more picks. Right now, Starlighters in the driver's seat quite clearly. They are saying, we are the superior team. We are up, and we are going to win 2-0 in this series. A well fought by Baegle's Bastards, but Starlighters just a force to be reckoned with here.
Right, a very close first map, but at the end of the day, what happened there was just a Stratocaster show alongside Dr. Jargo and Lore just putting an absolute clink. And which play could it be? Like, there were so many plays that happened.
The 5K, I think.
Oh, that's one. Look at that. Like, so much damage on the bench, and this is not an easy character to pilot, mind you. Like, it takes a lot of thinking, when to use your cooldowns effectively. This gets another Mercy pick right after that, and Hot Dog Starlighters takes it away, and I think it's absolutely deserved for what they did there.
Yeah, and like I said before, it just comes down to the push. Push seems to be the difference maker. If you play well on push, it's the more decisive victory.
Right.
And it just is what it is.
Yeah, it's one of those maps that definitely, it's the momentum that you get from winning just the first couple of fights, right? And that's exactly what happens. Starlighters gets a really good first pick, and then a couple of struggles right there. For example, Noodle never really able to start their game. You cannot play Tracer, you cannot play Kree, you cannot do anything if you're just absolutely getting dove. They have so much more HP than you, and even when you're able to make a switch up to the Genji and get that blade super fast, mind you, it's just too much momentum. It's just too many ultimates in the set of Starlighters, and they managed to take it away. But even if it wasn't a very close game, Hot Dog, it was definitely a showcase of what Starlighters are able to do, as well as Baegle's Bastards.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, overall series, maybe not close, but first map, I mean, again, it was 5-4 Starlighters. I think we're just able to play a little bit more cohesively and, capitalize a little bit more. Baegle's Bastards, maybe, playing with the Mercy. I don't know how much value, that pick got. I felt like Starlighters, the way they were playing, their team comp was a little bit more well stocked with kind of abilities and just decision making, clutch plays. But I mean, overall, Baegle's Bastards, you guys are still 1-2, right? I feel like overall they're gonna be still a force to be reckoned with in this tournament here.
Yeah, Baegle's Bastards.
There we go.
Yeah, Baegle Masters doesn't quite get it, Hot Dog, but it was pretty good. And look at some of these scores, right? We have them sorted out even for some of your like your viewing. Pressure I have Raygun gets another win for the day. 2-0 over High 5 C's. Loses to the Shogunate, but that was a really close match against the best team in the league. So definitely look out for them. Bagels Bastards, as we just saw, 0-2, and then Chaos loses to Chat. Is this real? So not a very good day over there.
The logo keeps getting me. Kazaki's chat with Falls and Dukes of Rakis, Malware, over easy. Still 0-0 right now. Foundry, so Uprising, 2-0 to Foundry, and then Rolldown and Tagetes. 0-2. But that will, at least in terms of matches, kind of do it for the mainstream. I believe Rift's going to go on a break though.
Yeah.
Potentially kind of come back and get a little debrief. With the CEO and president, Solomon and Nock, potentially. So thanks for hanging out, Biscuit. This has been a vibe and a half. Chatting with you. Chat has been real as well.
Hey, same goes to you. Look, absolutely, a really good first match. I absolutely love how close it was. And Starlighters, it's definitely going to be a team that I'm going to be following very closely after what they were able to do. So, Hot Dog, thank you very much for casting with me. If you want to check us out, you can see our socials right below. And, don't go anywhere because BPL Rock Rumble is not over yet. And we have a lot of matches, not only today, but the next couple of these coming in right for your viewing pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure casting, and I will see all of you next time.
Wait,
Hey guys, welcome back to the BPL Rock Rumble. It's me, joined by Knock on Wood Zero. There he is.
What's up? Hello.
Hi. We're not casting this match. We don't have a stream of it, but we're currently waiting on this one match, Malware versus Over Easy, which are 0.3 of map 3 currently. As soon as we've done that, we can do the bracket. This is all the matches of round 3. You can see that final one at the bottom, Malware versus Over Easy. Still waiting for them to complete their match. Clearly is a giga banger over there.
Yep.
And none of them were streaming it, even though they streamed stuff before. They thought, you know, let's all just not stream it. That'd be really fun. They're just waiting.
They want us to know what's happening, Solomon.
Well, exactly, that would make sense.
Reporting. Oh, that's Shoreline.
That's your fault.
Oh man, that is my fault. I talked to Shoreline and Shoreline responded to me. Can't believe it.
Yep. Just in game. They're still fighting.
I didn't realize you had like no delay. Ooh.
Yeah, it's because of a bunch of issues. Had a bunch of issues earlier in the stream. Apologies, gamers. Partly due to me trying to do things a bit more complicated than my PC could handle, and then it was giving me weird errors, weird network errors, which weren't actually network errors; they were graphical errors. But it happens. Yeah, my GPU did not like port encodes, but it just made it look like I had no internet. I had 0 bitrate, so that makes sense. Anyway, we are waiting for this one. The bracket as it stands, we can have a look actually. Let me see a second, I can just pull this up.
Everyone's gonna love it.
It's singular limb, by the way, everyone. You guys like that? I want to put on record I had nothing to do with this event. And this is all Nox creation. Well done. I appreciate it.
Yeah. You guys want the timeline, the wonderful timeline of me going, oh crap, we should have announced this like tournament 3 weeks ago. No, like not 3 weeks, like 4 days ago. We can do it in 3 days. And everything is squished and I feel bad, so.
Well, here's the bracket as it is so far. Some seeds are not going to change based on the result, but a few of them are. So you can see you've got a couple of our very top and very bottom seeds are locked in. And there'll be opening matches tomorrow. What actually are the times of these? Let me put the thing on.
Hey, phone, alright, you voted for this. Maybe not you specifically, but 17 of your fellow players did. And that's
Who won Malware?
Who won? Alright. You put it on yet? Is that me?
Go. Do your thing.
Oh, it's my job now? Oh.
So here are the final standings of the Swiss stage. So that puts Mara at 8 and Over Easy at 9. This also, I should note, takes into account opponent win rate. I should probably be able to show more. Let me see. Let me have a little cooking. If I just, oh, that's why. Why does it look so strange? There you go. So it takes into account opponent win percent because we're in Swiss. That just maps. Doesn't really matter. We have a couple of ties here and there, but that's not going to matter too much. So High Five have won this Rumble Swiss stage with a 67% opponent win rate. With High Five, so who did they take down? They took down Starlighters, who finished in 5th. Chatters is Real, finished in 7th, and I have Raygun, who finished in 5th. So all top half teams, 2-0 them all. Shogunate takes 2nd place. You can see the spread there. The 3-0 teams there, your undefeated teams there, and of course High Five, the only team to not for map, and everyone has won at least one map. Congratulations, everybody. Easy peasy.
Holy, that's so good.
Holy moly. Are you doing the thing? You getting it done?
I'm really bad
He's
at
getting
this. Yeah.
It's fine. It's his first time. Be nice.
So I don't know if we want to point this out, but there are 2 teams that are technically tied. 5 and 6 and 9 and 10 are tied. Are they not actually tied?
No, they're tied.
Oh, we're just throwing it in. You want a coin flip?
Just do it as it's shown, I think. Easy, isn't
Yeah.
it? Which is maybe alphabetical, but I couldn't confirm. No, it's almost definitely not alphabetical. It's whatever random it was, you know. Opponent win percent is opponent win match win percentage, not map win. You won your match.
Wait, what am I saying? 6? Oh, there it is.
And here is your confirmed bracket. So this will be starting on Saturday at 6:30 Eastern time. So that's tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern time. And then the second match will be 8 p.m. Eastern time. These are all first to threes by the looks of the timing.
Yes, they are. Everything from now on is first to 3. We'll be playing that round 1 and round 2 tomorrow. There's some flexibility if anyone needs to reschedule for some reason. I kind of doubt what'll happen. And then on Sunday, you can see that we're going to be streaming both semifinals will be on the A stream here, and then we'll have grand finals right after. So, yep.
Yippee. So they go last chance for some teams to get out, and some of them are going to have an even tougher time than in Swiss. That's just how it goes. Maybe just win your games and you get a better seed. But we've seen a big spread of skills. Actually, I say that as if I have any data to back that up. I don't really, because it's Swiss and you're always going to get this layout of 3-0s and 0-3s.
Yeah. Hey, you know something exciting, Solomon?
Sure.
We're not going to see Clash until map 3 tomorrow.
Oh?
It's Control,
PUBG.
Hybrid, Clash, Escort, Push tomorrow. So.
Oh my god, so we're guaranteed to see Clash is what you're saying?
Maybe.
You put it as map 3 and a 3 first to 3, so it's guaranteed to be played in every single match. I think maybe. I don't know. Maybe you should do another poll.
Should I do another poll? I'll do another poll.
I think you should do another poll now that everyone's had to play 3 clashes. And see what they think. Be like, okay, you liked it. Do you still like it?
Taking it out.
Yeah, it can go at 4 or something. That's fine. But
everyone.
Yeah, check the BPL Discord. Discord.gg/BPL. If
Create
you
a
like
poll.
Clash. Oh yeah, you can do the actual poll
Clash
thing.
map 3. Clash map 5.
When a voice be heard, head over to the poll, which will be in Discord at some point.
What?
Giving it first is funny. It is quite. Honestly, we had some stomps because if you just stomp them, Clash push is like a 10-minute first to 2. It's insane.
All right. There, I posted it. At everyone, spawn to poll.
Map 5. What about map 4?
Why would we do
Clash
poll?
map 5 is the worst. No. Redo the poll.
Wait.
Just
wait.
redo the poll immediately. Clash map 5 is an awful
Wait.
option.
Oh, okay.
3, 4, or 5. Because Clash map 5 is crazy. There's no way for that to be the final thing.
Flash map 3 or 4 is what you want?
Yeah, map 3, 4, or 5.
Okay. 8 hours. Where is Clash in bracket? Post. At everyone.
Don't add them again, whatever you do.
Alright, there, everyone, go respond. You have 15 votes already. Everyone wants a map 3. Alright, well, we'll see you tomorrow with that. And we'll figure out where it's going.
Well,
Yeah.
gamers, thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I don't understand why people prefer 3 or 5 over 4. Because surely, well, okay, I guess I'm coming from the experience or the thought that everyone will hate it. If you hate it, you put it 4. But maybe people like it and put map 3. Does everyone know that if you put it map 3, it's going to be played every map? I don't know. Anyway, that'll be tomorrow, 6:30. Here's the bracket one more time. 6:30 is the first match. We will have a pre-show, maybe, probably not. I don't know. We'll see. Pull up around 6ish to go through all the teams, see where everyone finished. 6:30 Eastern and 8 o'clock tomorrow is more BPL Rock Rumble action.
We're gonna send you over to Tranquility. They're doing a cool fundraiser for Gamers Outreach with staff pugs right now. So go laugh at other prod people like me and Solomon, who are currently playing Overwatch.
Woohoo! Alright, see you then. Enjoy.
Bye.
Goodbye.